princess and I'll be your toad. I'll follow behind you on Rainbow Road, protect you from red shells wherever we go, I promise. No one will touch us if we pick up a star, and if you spin out, you can ride in my cart. When we slide together, we generate sparks in our wheels and our hearts. And the finish line is just around the bend. I'll pause this game so our love will never end. Let's go again.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Screen Pubs Pupcast thing that we do, recording here. This is our first actual proper recording in a long time because we've had the best of the year stuff going out. Aaron is unfortunately sick because he seems to be always sick, which is probably our fault, probably stress, I don't know. I wish him to get better. There's four of us here to talk about general stuff, and then romance movies is the specific topic because it's Valentine's Day. So I'm Jackson, that's me. We have Mike. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
We have Matt.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
broke it. You
I know.
You broke it. Okay,
yep.
Kevin.
The illusion's gone forever.
Valentine's
Much
Day.
like love itself, gone forever.
You're meant to be this optimistic one here.
Am I really? Oh, that's right. I actually like romance films. That's okay.
Because I'm going to be the crazy person to say Wreck-It Ralph is my favorite love story in a while, but not in that way. But, yeah.
Oh, my favorite love story right now isn't even a movie. It's a webcomic.
So it's a webcomic. That's pretty good. I just saw Wreck-It Ralph, and oh my god, that film is so amazing. I love it irrationally.
Are we just go right into what we've been watching then?
I would assume so.
Well, you should label it as such, host.
Okay. Oh, should I? I was trying to do what some people call a smooth segue, but
no, I'm gonna have chunky segs. It's my rule.
Podcast rule.
Chunky segues after 9 p.m. only.
So I just saw Wreck-It Ralph. That's the one I saw. And this segue is chunky as fuck right now. I love that movie to an irrational degree. Like it's totally flawed and nowhere near as good as I think it is. But fuck it, it's so good. Just the whole central relationship between Vanellope and Ralph is one of the best things I've seen in a while, which is just this brilliant tribute to video game culture and its outcastiness. So
But what did you think of Paperman?
Paperman was excellent. Paperman was great. I was really worried it wasn't actually going to show because it came out with the Wreck-It Ralph title card, and I was like, oh, and then it turned up, so that was all good. I thought it was good. It didn't blow me away as much as people had said it would, but it was what it was, and it was great short. So yeah, Paperman's good. People in my cinema were being assholes and talking through Paperman and being like laughing at the wrong bits and shouting at the screen because we are uncouth individuals over here apparently. So that was depressing. Yeah. Has anyone else seen Wreck-It Ralph or have any opinion?
Wreck-It Ralph's great.
Yeah.
I feel like Disney's consistently putting out better product than Pixar these days, so I'm already on board.
I would be, yeah, based on this, I would be inclined to agree.
I have opinions about Paperman that I'll get to when it's my turn. Cause,
no, it's a thing. It's your turn to talk about Paperman. Go ahead.
No. When I do what I've been
segue.
watching, we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay. Is it part of a bigger...
Yeah.
All right, we'll wait on that. Mike, what have you seen?
A lot of TV, not a lot of movies.
Yep.
Started up my television studies class to Monday-ish, so yeah. TV, it's better than movies, y'all.
It can
No, it's
be.
not.
It can be. When they get it
I said
right.
that just to get a response out of Matt.
I'm well known as not a TV person.
Yep, that is a totally fair standpoint. Then you watch something like Generation Kill, and you're like, why isn't all TV this good?
I should probably watch that someday, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just need to all go finish watching The House of Cards. so we
I'm
can
not
talk
going to watch
about it.
House of Cards.
The House of Cards is like the thick of it, but so all the humor, it's exactly the same plot of the thick of it. It's like the chief fucking whip going around being an arsehole to everyone, but with all the humor sucked out so much that it becomes funny again.
David Fincher made it. Of course it's humorless and awful.
No, but it's you know how you say that David Fincher has the emotional maturity of a 13-year-old?
Yeah.
It's so that. It is so that, like, to the nth degree. Like,
See, you think you're convincing me to watch it? You're convincing me to never touch this.
oh no, I'm not convincing any. I'm just saying it's like at some point there's a scene, like a sex scene between these two people who are having an affair, and one of them is obviously Kevin Spacey, who does these really evil asides in a terrible southern accent.
No, the evil asides in the southern aspect are great.
I know, they're so dumb. And then he turns, so he's making out with this girl who's like 30 years younger than him, and then he just turns to the camera, which is her perspective, and just goes, "I can be your father," or just something as ridiculously evil as that, and then proceeds lower, and then it carries on, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? That shows...
You know what? You should watch the 90s original British version, because I did that over the weekend. Oh my god, that is so much like more just campy and odd and really creepy daddy issue problems. Yeah. I was just like, oh god, you're calling him daddy. You have issues. That was a romance, guys. Valentine's Day. Topical. I'm going to shut up now.
Yep, that's a good idea. We'll talk about House of Cards properly when we get Stacey in here to talk about that. But that show's dumb, but pretty great. Pretty dumb. Do you want to know about like the PS Vita product placement in that?
That whole moment, I was just like, wow, they just name-checked a Vita. Yeah. That was... Why do you have a PlayStation Vita, old man? Why do you have a PS3 even?
No, the old man doesn't have the PS Vita. It's the young senator. And Kevin Spacey comes into his house, picks up the Vita, and just goes, "PS Vita, huh?" I was like, I've got a PS3
Are
at
you
home.
serious?
Are
you serious?
No, I'm completely serious. This genuinely happens. Kevin Spacey just like, oh, PS Vita. And then he says something about how he has all the games at home.
And he plays Killzone 3.
He sits at home playing Killzone 3 to relax after a good day of senatoring.
Oh my god.
I told you, this is so much more a 13-year-old wrote this.
Why did they need product placement?
It's
like $100 million. They got to make that money somehow.
Do HBO shows have product placement? I don't watch television. I don't know. Like,
oh god, I want to see product placement in Game of Thrones.
3DSs on girls? Is that the dichotomy now?
Kevin Spacey's favorite character is probably Rico then in Killzone 3.
So it would have been worth it for that if they got Kevin Spacey discussing the story.
Killzone like 2 years old at this point.
Yeah, but that's the one he plays. That's his relaxing game of choice.
It's the only
do like PlayStation All-Star, something topical, vaguely.
No, because it has to be him shooting at something with a completely emotionless face to show something, and there's a whole subplot about jogging.
It makes no sense. Made it like Killzone HD if they're going to do something that dumb.
Yeah, exactly. They need to commit to their full dumbness. It's ridiculously dumb.
Is he like doing the 6-axis thing where you're turning the valves?
No, he clearly can't play the control. He keeps stabbing like the L2 button, just like he's clearly got a machine gun. He's just like throwing the controller around like a person.
So it does not shoot on any PlayStation game ever made.
Yep.
So it's obviously just a cliche of obvious video game fakery.
Yeah, I'm thinking David Fincher is this crazy perfectionist. You'd think he would at least learn to look up how to shoot a video game controller. It's not that hard.
L1, that's it.
It's L1.
So did it also have the Pac-Man Atari 2600 sounds over it?
Unfortunately, no. I just got Breaking Bad flashbacks, and I love Breaking Bad, but there is that scene.
The Rage one's amazing.
Well, they've got Rage and Jesse's first-person shooting. Like, he's got a Time Crisis gun, but Rage is on the screen.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that far in Breaking Bad, obviously.
There's a no, it's so
They misinterpret, like they show what the product isn't. Basically, it's
You know
not
what
a
has
light
cool
gun
product
game.
placement? The Wrestler has cool. That's not really product placement. That's video games in a movie that is good.
You know what has cool product placement?
Community had good product placement.
Y50.
Hawaii 5.0 has the greatest product placement.
What's Hawaii 5.0's?
Subway and Bing.
Oh, no, Arrow is in deep with the Windows 8 tablets. And it's just, they just literally like, oh no, we're going to have you wake up and you're going to come over and swipe with your Windows 8 tablet. And because you're upper middle class white people, you're going to obviously have that. Ugh.
Well, have any of you seen the trailer for The Internship?
Yeah.
No, is it out?
That trailer is out.
Oh, I got to watch that.
Yeah,
I don't know what anything is, apparently.
The Internship is a movie about Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn getting a Google.
That's why.
Getting a Google internship. And yes, I'm never going to see this movie in my life because, it's a movie about Google.
Pretty sure Callum will watch it for next year's worst of list.
Yes, because Callum makes excellent choices of his time.
I can't wait to watch the movie on iTunes.
I can't wait till someone illegally uploads it to YouTube. That looks fucking terrible. You want to talk about terrible product placement? That commits. There's a shot as if it's through the computer screen. Like, when you have a POV shot of the computer and they're looking at the computer, except in this shot there's a translucent Google image, so they're looking through the Google page.
You know what? I actually, that's all right. Good job.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So
They did that exact same thing on like Breaking Bad a couple times.
Did they? But did they do it with Google?
No, it was like there was a shot of Jesse using an ATM machine, and you could see all like the digits on the screen, and they didn't see him behind it, or something like that.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that now. Yeah, they did that. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Breaking Bad always has like crazy POV shots.
Breaking Bad does some crazy visual stuff sometimes to its benefit and sometimes to its detriment.
These seem like the kind of shots that would have existed if 3D TVs took off.
Pretty much. You'd watch every single scene with like a backwards computer HUD. It'd be really distracting. So what did you actually watch, Mike?
Right now I'm watching this internship trailer, and does this movie like take place in like 1990 or something?
I don't.
Fucking, oh my god, computers are taking over. Like, what is this? Anyway, movies I watched. I watched Die Hard with a Vengeance because of Matt's other post. Not you,
I
Matt.
did too, actually.
Yeah.
I watched it last night.
That's
better than I remembered
movie.
it.
I actually really like Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Of course you do. It's a great movie.
I still think of the original 3 Die Hard, I still think it is the worst, but it tries, and that's good.
No, let's have this out. What is better about Die Hard 2?
It sticks to the Die Hard genre essentially better.
But it's John McClane stuck in one place.
But he's actually not stuck. Like the confinement is so he could go away.
The confinement's a little bit more lax in Die Hard 2.
It's more that he stays in one place, not that he is stuck in one place. There's a slight difference. Die Hard 2 is just a bad movie, straight up.
I agree. Die Hard 2 is not a good film.
Vengeance, though, does try some interesting things, and I like that. And it's evil Jeremy Irons, and I can always rock to that.
It's the animals went in 2x2.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And dumb riddles and Samuel Jackson in one of his best roles.
That's the thing I hate most is Samuel Jackson's character being kind of unnecessary to me.
Unnecessary?
No.
Other than the fact that he is a black man and it's required that John McClane have a black man helping him.
He's the blackest man, though.
Well, yes, it is. It is the blackest man ever. But still, I kind of miss Sergeant Al.
Look, if you're going to put a comedic relief, foil to your cool hero into the third thing of your cop trilogy, look at what Lethal Weapon did with Joe Pesci, and look at what Samuel Jackson brought to Die Hard with a Vengeance, and tell me that this was not a good idea.
And he is more than just there to make jokes, because he has to be saddled with John McClane, because they changed the ending, which kind of ruins the film.
Yeah, if they had the alternate ending as the original ending, I would be much better with it.
Oh, have you not seen the alternate ending?
I don't know.
It's instead of going to find Jeremy Irons in their party thing and then blowing him up and all happy Die Hard, it's
that totally unnecessary prologue or epilogue.
Pretty much. Instead of that, it cuts to like a hotel somewhere a year or so later, I don't know, and he's got a rocket launcher, and then he plays a riddle with him, and he's like, which way is the rocket launcher facing? Like, if it's facing, like, I can't remember exactly, but he plays some kind of riddle with.
He keeps, like, he takes off all the sights and like all the other stuff to basically obscure which direction is the front of it, and he keeps spinning it each time John McClane asks a riddle.
And then he basically makes Jeremy Irons kill himself in this game, and you just see that after the events of these Die Hard movies, John McClane is a husk of a man.
That sounds pretty cool.
It's such a good ending.
I watched it last night, and I thought it was a bit anticlimactic. If that was the original ending, I would have probably just had the same feeling.
I guess I
don't think either ending works especially well.
The things I like about Die Hard or The Vengeance have nothing to do with the actual plot of that movie.
Oh no, yeah.
I like just these two characters who don't get along, but I enjoy watching not get along, run around New York City for a day.
My biggest problem with Die Hard of Vengeance is that it's too much. Like I want John McClane.
I'm watching this on video. I forgot how much hair Bruce Willis used to have.
I think the biggest issue I have with Die Hard of Vengeance is John McClane is not out of his element. Like, he's still in a location that he knows. I want John McClane somewhere he has no idea, like, where he is. Like, he doesn't know, like, this street or that street.
But he's like such a sad sack of shit when we meet him, though. He's just drunk, hungover, no one wants him.
Yeah, I like that. We get to see, we first see him out of his element, and then we see him in his element, but completely out of his personal element, because he is fucked up as a person at the moment, with no ability to care about anything. Like, when he goes to that street with that sign on, and you see just the amount of fucks he gives on his face is zero. It's just like, that's not the John McClane we saw in Die Hard 1.
He would have made a great Max Payne at that point.
Yes.
I'll admit, I don't have the reverence for the original Die Hard that a lot of people seem to have.
No.
So I think that has a lot to do with why I like Die Hard of the Vengeance, because it's different for sure. But I don't think that's necessarily bad. I mean, Die Hard's a good movie, but people love it on a level that I don't ever understand.
I'm with you. It's good. It's a serviceable action movie that should be more average than it is, but because of low standards of action movies, it isn't. So yeah, well, that was Die Hard. Yeah. Is anyone going to see Die Hard 5?
I didn't even see Die Hard 4, so no.
I'm probably going to go see it.
Is it PG-13? Then no.
It's proper R.
It's 12A in England. They cut out all the swear words and all the blood. Yeah, I know.
Is Samuel Jackson in it?
No.
Then no.
Exactly. If Samuel Jackson turned up, if they brought back every Die Hard character that was still alive,
all 4 of them.
No, fuck it. Even the dead ones. Bring back both Grubers.
Yeah.
Bring back MacGruber, what you do. And don't explain it.
If MacGruber's in that movie, I'll see it.
I want Hans and his brother to team up. Hans and Simon versus Samuel Jackson and John McClane. That's the best versus movie of all time. They should make that.
Yeah, this is way better than any idea they'll ever have for Die Hard movies.
They're already making a 6th. The thing that bums me out the most is that it's a fucking Star Trek quote that I hold near and dear to my heart that they have ruined in this one, in the title. So yeah, it is what it is. It's I mean, I know it's not just a Star Trek quote, but that's what I think of A Good Day to Die.
That's the first thought you come to.
I think of Worf. Perhaps today is a good day to die. Prepare for ramming speed.
I don't know why Worf got to Defiant. What was up with that?
Because he's Worf. He is. I don't know. I should really carry on watching Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, Worf was living on the Defiant for a good long part of DS9.
Yeah, but he wasn't the captain. That's Cisco ship.
No, but I mean, when was this? Was this mid DS9?
This was mid DS9.
Was Cisco on Earth like when he quit?
No,
Was Cisco.
I don't know. No,
Cisco. I can't. That's a DS9 spoiler. I'm not going to say that one.
I know. I'll get there.
The Cisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever watch the Captains documentary?
Yes.
Is it good?
Yes, if you can deal with the fact that all of them, except for Scott Bakula and Patrick Stewart, are all a little crazy.
Yeah. What's his name? Avery Brooks?
Avery Brooks is busy doing jazz and poetry and being super high.
Yeah,
And
his
you can
interviews
tell.
are the most bizarre.
That dude does not care one bit about Star Trek.
That's both a shame and also fair play.
That makes me want to go see this movie now.
How great is William Shatner in it at being William Shatner?
He's in
It
a
is
box.
the most egotistical Shatner when he interviews what's that dude's name who plays Newkirk?
Chris Pine.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think the most egotistical Shatner I've ever seen is this. I think it was just on a Channel 5 show in Britain, so called. I think it was called How William Shatner Changed the World.
Sounds good.
Which was about all the scientific inventions that Star Trek made.
It's kind of the same character because I don't think William Shatner's actually like this. Maybe
It's
sometimes,
his like persona, basically.
but he plays it up a lot.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
I still think the best interview in that documentary is between Christopher Plummer and William Shatner. It's the most interesting.
Yeah.
Because you don't really expect, like, out of, like, when they said, yeah, we're going to have an interview with Christopher Plummer. It's like, oh, wow. And to know that they have history together is even more interesting.
Yeah, they were both on TV.
And Shakespeare in Windsor. So. Stuff's cool.
That's Star Trek then. What have you seen recently, Kevin?
I recently watched To Rome with Love.
How is that?
What'd you think about that?
It's okay. I think some of it works, some of it's just kind of
it is
there.
Incredibly uneven.
Yeah, like I read your review, and I do think the most interesting part of that movie is with Jesse Eisenberg and Ellen Page. I think the stuff that Woody Allen was writing there seemed a lot more interesting and a lot more like thought out for what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I saw it, I was thinking to myself that Alec Baldwin was a ghost for some reason, and then I read your review and you said that he's more like Jesse Eisenberg's like conscience, like a future version of himself, and that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Than him being a ghost, but
yeah, that movie is very much each story is a different period of Woody Allen's career, condensed down.
Yeah, and
so what you're going to be drawn to depends on what kind of Woody Allen you like.
Yeah, and even though like the segment with the opera singer in the shower, I don't think it's as funny as anything else. But for some reason, I think the dude on the stage in a shower singing opera is really funny.
It's probably the best gag in that entire movie.
It goes on for way too long, but I couldn't help myself.
That's why I like it. It's his earlier stuff is really absurdist, like his early comedies like Bananas and stuff, and that is definitely where that whole sequence is coming out of.
Yeah. So that movie's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. And I've been watching for the first time The Wire.
Oh yeah.
TV.
Yes.
Yeah, and go ahead.
How far are you? First off,
I finished season 2, and I'm gonna take a break because I don't like marathoning that show. Like I don't want. Like I immediately went from season 1 to season 2.
I'm on a break right now.
You're on a mid-season break. You can't take a break mid-season. You have to take a break between the seasons.
I've seen 3 episodes of season 4, and I'm like, this is too depressing. I need to take a break. That was several months ago at this point.
You're gonna have to watch the first 3 episodes of season 4
No, I won't.
again.
I know what's going on.
Okay, fair enough.
Cuddy's running that boxing gym, and what's his face is being the saddest teacher in the world. It's just depressing.
Do you not? Yeah, cool, yeah. But what do you think of the Wire so far, Kevin?
I think it has the same issue that every single HBO show has, that there's like a bazillion characters, and I still don't know most of their names. Sort of like the Game of Thrones situation where I recognize that guy, but when they say his name... Go ahead.
I think that's a problem that happens when you marathon a show that is that dense.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I found when I was watching Generation Kill. That I have no idea who any of these people are because I watched 3 episodes in a row.
And it's a lot harder for something like that because they're wearing uniforms and helmets.
Oh,
and
Generation
sunglasses.
Kill, they all look the same by design. They are literally they're all square-jawed people in exactly the same uniform. That's very deliberately hard to tell apart. That's the point they're making, and it's hard to get your head around. Once you get used to it, it's rewarding. So yeah.
What you need to know about The Wire is that Bunk and Freeman are the best part of that show.
Yeah. Bunk's awesome. Freeman's awesome. I like Kima. Dominic Cooper, is it Dominic?
Yep, Dominic Cooper.
Dominic
West. Dominic West.
Dominic West, yes.
Dominic
He's
Cooper.
no longer Dominic West.
Dominic Cooper. Oh my god.
I've ceased to call him Dominic West for now, and I just call him McNulty.
That's his
I'm
name.
pretty sure everyone who watches that show does that.
Yeah,
So basically, when I was talking about John Carter, I just referred to
McNulty.
British McNulty,
He,
the villain.
it's like when he shows up in Johnny English. I'm like, what the fuck is McNulty doing in Johnny English 2?
Here's my one complaint about The Wire. As much as I like Kima, she is saddled with the most boring home life backstory in that entire show.
It's
That dumb
hits that-
policeman's wife nonsense that the rest of the show is smarter than to tackle.
it hits that cop show trope thing with home life. And I feel like it gets kind of repetitive watching it marathon style.
Season 1 and 2, yeah, but season 3 opens up a lot more.
I like season 2 more than most people seem to.
I love season 2. Ziggy's story is I don't know why. It's a good
Ziggy's story gets more interesting.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I see what you got by the end of that season, like what you were saying. Like
Yeah.
I still think the ending is way better than anything else his story was about in any
I
of the
agree with
previous
that.
episodes.
I see it more as the ending is when it all comes together, and then I realize, oh my god, Ziggy was amazing.
But yeah, season 3 that show is, man.
Yeah.
Whole new level in season 3.
Shit gets you talk about the House of Cards being about evil politicians written by a 13-year-old. The Wire gets evil right. Yeah.
And I know everybody was talking about how great Omar Little's character is, but oh my god, his character is amazing.
Everyone's got to have a code.
That's not even like the breakout for me. It is
Prez.
really?
Yeah, Presbeluski.
Prez's story is I love Prez's story. He is in every season. I'm always happy to see Prez.
Yeah, like season 2, he's barely in there, but once you see him like connecting all the dots with the giant corkboard, it's like, yeah, Presbeluski's back.
I think it's because he starts out in the most despicable of places when those three go on that ride together and shoot up the high rise. And
that shows like no, he's not meant to be that job. Like when he starts like doing the wiretapping stuff and like putting all the pieces together with the board, that's like his element, and that's where you really say it's like, yeah, Presbeluski's pretty awesome.
It's the moment with the phone where he works out that the phone is flipped, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, Presbeluski is on it.
I guess. I like him. Stringer Bell is my favorite character in that show.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And I like the season 2 setup of basically this whole investigation started because of a stained glass window in a church.
Yeah. Oh,
It's really funny.
That whatever his name is, the guy who's high up in the police who gets them to do that, he is an arsehole.
Yeah, Valchek.
Valchek.
Isn't that the season with the dumb van gag?
Yeah, but they send it in the shipping container all around
Yes.
the
It's so good. When he gets those photos, you're like, yeah. that has the tensest folder sequence of all time. The Wire season 2.
Which one's that?
Where they follow the folder going through all the when it gets put into the cart and then gets wheeled around towards the end. I was edge of my seat.
Man, that show is great.
It is.
And I know everyone talks it up, but that show's still great.
There are moments when The Wire goes really bad, and when that happens, you're like, it is heartbreaking to see The Wire become bad, because when it does, you're like, oh no, why did you? Oh, you bastards! You tricked me, and I hate you. So, yeah, 'cause I don't like season 5 at all. I think it's a bad season.
All right, I have not watched it, so shut your mouth.
I will not go into. Well, I just don't. Yeah, it's just. Which, partly, I mean, technically, if you watched it as, you'd still see the quality level of The Wire, but just when you've been that good, there really isn't an excuse for stepping down in a story that serialized.
I don't like the captain, or not the captain. The head of Homicide, Rawls. I don't like him.
Do you mean you don't like him, or you don't like?
I don't think he's a very good character.
Season 3.
Okay. Okay. Season 3, I'll watch that.
It's
but
not
very first episode of season 1 where they first introduce him, I think that scene is terrible.
Or the one where he's like, "This is my finger for you," and this is
Yeah, that scene's totally ham-fisted and way over the top.
What about the scene where they solve a crime using only the word "fuck"?
Oh man,
it's great, but then it becomes sort of over the top, and it's like, yeah, okay. Too much.
No, I wish there was a Bunk Freeman comedy version of that show. It's just them drinking a lot and hanging out and being cool.
Would you want like the Seinfeld bass line and a laugh track?
No, just like play it straight, but just them being them. It's secretly a comedy, but it's played just as a cop procedural.
I would watch a webisode series in between seasons of The Wire, just play webisodes of Bunk Adventures.
Just follow what happened between them just by their events in the bar.
Bunkin' Bar. That's the title. There you go.
Every once in a while, McNulty shows up and is drunk everywhere.
That's how McNulty do.
Yep.
I will say this: the Dominic West, he's not a very good drunk actor. He plays drunk way too over the top.
I think he's fine, but his accent slips a lot when he's playing drunk.
His accent's actually kind of good, but it's just by comparison to Idris Elba's flawless accent.
Yeah. The first time I heard Idris Elba talk with his normal voice, I lost my mind.
Yeah. Pretty much.
This is not natural. What is going on?
Yeah, no, String Bell. Man, String Bell. That's enough Wire talk, because we could talk about The Wire forever. But have Mike even seen The Wire?
Yeah. I'm like halfway through season 2-ish. I got sidetracked with other stuff and
So we didn't inadvertently spoil anything for you. That's good.
Oh no, I've spoiled myself with random clips for years without really realizing the context and all that. But yeah, pretty good.
I had a big Wire spoiler when
I have so far been completely not spoiled about that show.
That's because you don't look at anything about television ever, so
this is true.
You're in a good stead.
I would have figured Twitter would have done something to me at this point.
No, because Twitter's so zeitgeist that the likelihood of you seeing anything that...
I follow a lot of film and TV people.
That's true. That is true. But still, Twitter saying anything out of a day or two's relevance is not often.
Hmm.
I think
I missed like a giant spoiler for the last season of Downton Abbey, but regardless, I sort of wish I knew the spoiler because what happened was sort of disappointing. Anyway,
like all of Downton Abbey after the first series.
No, I still like the show.
All right.
You and David Mitchell agree.
What's wrong with Downton Abbey? Poor Edith.
She'll never get what she wants. The first season is perfect, and everything after that is just increasingly melodramatic. Like, the veneer has worn off.
That's pretty much the exact argument he made in his video. He was like, the first season's great, and then the characters kind of become caricatures, and the drama is all...
Like, those problems existed in the first season, but you were getting so much setup and, like, enjoying everything for the first time that the novelty carried it through.
Yeah.
I like all the stuff of the war, though. I think that was interesting.
I haven't seen.
Basically, I'd rather just watch Gosford Park again.
I've never seen it.
Oh man,
that's surprisingly good movie.
that's a great movie.
Why are you so surprised?
I don't know. When I remember looking it up and finally watching it, I was like, oh yeah, was it Waltman who did that one?
Altman.
Altman,
Yeah.
Walt.
Robert Altman.
Yeah, I've never really gotten what was so great about him, honestly.
Yeah, but Altman with like Julian Fellows writing it, it's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Also, cameo by Charles Dance. It was really freaking me out because I was seeing him all week with Game of Thrones, and then he pops up here and I was like, what the hell? He's like one of them British character actors you just don't recognize until you recognize.
I also like murder mysteries, so
Yeah.
that has a lot to do with it.
I should see this because I love a good murder mystery.
Gosford Park is like the almost serious version of Clue.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Sold.
It's not actually serious outside of the fact that someone does die and that is impactful, but being a British class movie, it is kind of goofy.
It's just serious enough
Yep.
to work. Okay, I'm in. I'm adding that to my love film queue as we speak. The one thing that I saw that I want to talk about before moving on to Matt is I watched Legend of Korra in like one go. Speaking of marathoning stuff,
You didn't like that as much as I did you?
I didn't know. Oh, I have significant problems with the ending of that show.
Ending of that series, for the record. I mean, there's another season coming.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but man,
The ending wasn't like, I don't get I understand where you're coming from, but I don't get it.
I so adore the ending of that show.
I know. That whole season was, when the hell is she going to talk
is
to
the
Aang?
greatest thing that any Avatar anything has done.
the thing on the what?
The boat with them
Yes.
driving away to victory.
The boat thing is great. There are a lot of things that actually do work about the ending out of context. Like the scene where she talks to Aang should be amazing, but because of the context around it and how rushed it was and how
My problem with that season is I feel like they tried to pack a lot in because they didn't know they were going to get another one.
yes, and they packed the entirety of her arc into 5 minutes, so that was a bit of a problem.
I think that they're going to do stuff to fix that.
But the problem is that then they took her to a point where they didn't have to roll back to develop her anymore because...
No, because I feel like the more interesting thing isn't her learning all her Avatar powers. It is the question of what place does a powered super being have in a world that is increasingly diplomatic driven. The stuff of the people complaining, about not the equalists, but just the people on the street being like, well, what has the Avatar ever have done for me is way more interesting than anything about the fights in that show.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the direction I wanted to go in and obviously was she becomes a huge hero without her bending because it got fucking taken away. That's what I really wanted to see her, because she was so interested in the physical stuff that I wanted to see her, because she's such a strong character that she can solve her own problems without Aang coming up to her and just fixing them for her. That was my
Every
biggest.
now and again, you need a little help.
You need help, and I don't.
And Uncle Iroh is dead, so who's gonna help?
Dude,
I'm interested to see where that show goes, but
same. I'm gonna be there season 2.
I like the tone that it takes. I like its weird steam, 1930s Hong Kong noir version of the universe. Anytime that there's radio announcer voice going on, I'm the happiest person in the world.
The prologues, the way they do the prologue is
Those-
previously on.
Those are great.
So good.
I feel like the way that they choreograph action got way better.
Oh, yeah.
That show looks amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the ending, I think this works into the ending. A lot of my problems with it is the way that they handle romance in that show is absolutely fucking garbage. Oh my god.
Well, it feels like that's the general fan consensus, and I'd even agree with that. I hope that they address that.
I do too, but it's one I don't like the way that she got her airbending through this hollow relationship that was never really developed, rather than through actual spiritual development or whatever. And 2, Bolin's existence negates sympathy for anyone else in that show, because the way he deals with a far bigger rejection than anyone else is dealing with, he's just like, yeah, whatever. And
Well, that's because Bolin's the best character in that show.
Yeah.
by a mile. God damn, I love Bolin.
The fact that PJ Bryn was in that show got me to go see Final Destination 4, 5, whatever one he's in. The
Which
recent
one's
one.
in?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Is it the one with
The guy
plane?
who voiced Bolin.
Oh, okay.
The one with the
Yeah.
plane or the one with the NASCAR? Not the one with the plane.
No,
one
it's
with
the prequel.
the
It's the prequel.
Oh, so
That's
yes,
5.
Oh,
That's a pretty good
okay,
movie, so you're all right.
I love the ending of 5. I love the ending of 4 too, but that in a far more dumb way.
You were so wrong about 4.
Just, I should point out, I love the ending of 4, having never sat through it. I love the idea of it.
Okay.
I'm loving it as the butt of a joke, not me being the butt of a joke.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
It's just because Final Destination's pretty great. But yeah, man, Legend of Korra is good. I still prefer Avatar because Zuko.
I never got into Avatar in the way that I think it was a good show, but I felt like it came with more caveats than Korra does.
I agree, but then you get to season 2, and apart from
Sure.
one episode,
Definitely, and I feel like I'm interested to see what'll happen when you compare all of what Legend of Korra is to all of what... Because if you just looked at the first season of Avatar, you're not looking at much of a show.
if you just looked at the first 12 episodes of Avatar, like Korra, you would be looking at a few episodes of build-up, a few good episodes, and it would end on a really strong note because of the storm. But
Yeah.
that showed season 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And nothing in Korra came anywhere near as close to affecting me as much as the end of season 2 of Avatar, which was fuck, man.
Well, yeah, it's Empire Strikes Back ending.
It's more
It's
than
like,
that. No,
Fuck, we lost.
it'd be the Empire Strikes Back ending if Luke did join the dark side. That's what it would be. If it ended with Luke standing with Vader, that would be the feeling you would get for Avatar season 2. Because goddamn, yeah, season 3's all right, but you know.
Yeah.
And then also, Tale of Iroh is
Yeah.
it is what it is. So, I hear you've seen things, Matt.
Yeah, there's not been anything in theaters worth seeing. Going back to Paperman, I did catch all of the Oscar-nominated animated shorts.
Including the Simpsons one?
Yes, including the Simpsons one.
How-
At the local theater, the local cinema. The Simpsons one's okay. If you have a chance to see those, if your local art theater is playing those, it's a really interesting program. I'd never gone to any of those before. But they have the previous year winner introducing things, and they show extra ones that were like, we consider these, but they were not nominated. And in fact, my favorite one was one of those.
What was your
but-
favorite one?
It was this French thing called, I think it was called Puddles, about this art thief who, when he like eats the art he steals and then turns into that style of painting. It's abstract and super French and really cool. I wanted to say Paperman is probably going to win that Oscar, and it does not deserve it compared to the things it is up against. If you get a chance to hunt down the shorts, they are probably not online until after the Oscars, but Head Over Heels and Adam and Dog are both better shorts than that one is by a mile. And they aren't done by a huge corporation like Disney. So, I don't know. That basically becomes the Disney Pixar Award, those animated shorts. Or even the animated feature category at all, sadly.
I know, but what is even up for the animated feature? I know you give no shits about awards.
He cares more about TV than he does.
Will
about-
Paranorman win? No. So I
Wreck-It
don't
Ralph is
care.
better than Paranorman, and I will fight you for fun.
You're
I guess.
wrong.
You're wrong.
I would be okay with Wreck-It Ralph winning. I bet Brave's gonna win though.
Oh no!
No,
No.
I'd be physically angered if that happened.
Yeah, if either Wreck-It Ralph or Paranorman doesn't win, then they fucked up.
Yeah, that's fair. Those are the two that I would be all right with.
What else even was there? I'm having a look now.
There's probably going to be like Madagascar probably get nominated.
It's all right. It's Brave, the Pirates.
get nominated.
Yeah, the Pirates.
Pirates is pretty good.
Pirates is pretty good. And
I forgot. I thought that movie was 2011 for whatever reason.
man, that movie's great. And then
It's
Frankie
the first movie I reviewed for Screened, for the record.
What did you give it?
4 stars, I believe.
That's pretty cool. The same rating of Rock of Ages.
Oh yeah, I like Rock of Ages. You shut up. That's
I
a
hate
pretty
it.
bad movie.
It's so bad. Oh.
So what else did you have a look at?
So I watched The Lady from Shanghai, Orson Welles movie from probably the 50s. I'm too lazy to look it up. Everybody should watch that movie if you care about noir. It's really good.
I do care about noir. I should watch
it. I mean, I like Orson Welles is kind of my favorite person in all of cinema. So not surprising that I like that movie. Sad it took me so long to see it. It's real good. I won't even talk about it much. It has the craziest, baffling ending ever, just in terms of what it does, because it goes full crazy. Reminds me how boring LA Noire is as a noir anything.
You're not wrong.
Because I really like noir, and I was like, LA Noire is going to be awesome, and then it wasn't.
Doubt.
I like
Triangle to Doubt.
Yeah. God. And then, more importantly, I have been rewatching the Fast and the Furious movies because I've been writing about them.
This is the best thing to talk about.
Yes, it is.
I wanted to segue into, what's been going on.
Into trailer talk. Well, we'll talk about the older ones first.
Yeah,
so.
that series is great.
Hell
but
yeah.
kind of almost on accident.
Totally on accident.
They figured it out by now. They know why they're great.
Justin Lin figured it out. Like the
first two movies are so... The first movie's kind of fun and that movie's so dated now. I know it's just 2001, but it feels like it dropped out of another planet.
Time for Limp Bizkit is 13 minutes.
Douchiest planet, because everyone calls themselves bro unironically. And there's
that's only the
tattoos
first movie.
And mesh shirts and bad new metal.
The entire first scene is a scene about tuna.
Yep. And then there's Too Fast, Too Furious, which is
not worth talking about.
An outright bad movie. Just like you could probably skip that one if you're going to watch this series.
I have a friend who considers that to be the greatest Fast and Furious movie, and he
should punch that friend.
I really should.
Is he like mesmerized by Tyrese's arms?
I don't know, because he does have some terrible fucking movie opinions, and then what happened like a year ago when he grew up, he watched Transformers again, and he had this epiphanal moment where he was like, oh my god, this movie is garbage, what am I doing with my life, I'm going to watch good films now, and then it was like, hooray, and then he rewatched Too Fast, Too Furious, and still says it's his favourite Fast and Furious movie because of that Nissan. And I was like, oh, you've got a long way to come, my friend.
And then Tokyo Drift is near and dear to my heart. I love that movie. It's not the best one of that series, but it is the most aware of how dumb that street racing kind of storyline is, and it just runs with it.
It has the best line.
What is the best line?
I can't remember the exact pronunciation. It's like when the first drifters invented drifting in the mountains.
You're not wrong. The guys who invented drifting are in that movie. They're the fishermen who are fishing on the wharf.
Oh,
and one turns to the other and is like, that's bad drifting. Or my grandmother can drift better than that or something.
Oh, it's so good.
Sonny Chiba speaks English in that automatically means it's a movie you have to see because that man has the worst accent ever. You can tell that guy knows not a lick of English. Yeah. If you haven't seen Tokyo Drift by now, you probably aren't listening to this podcast because you probably have bad taste in movies. And then, Jackson, let's talk about Fast and Furious.
Well, let's talk about Fast.
Because you think Fast and Furious is an okay movie, and I think it's a piece of dog shit.
That is harsh on Fast and Furious.
It's harsh.
I think it's a bad episode of a TV show, basically. Like you've got the same cast, and the characters are back, and they don't feel like you've destroyed the characters. It's not like Star Trek 3 or something.
But everything they do is boring.
I guess after the first 20 minutes it goes downhill a long way, but just the direction style and the way that it's got that first heist and Han's there and everyone's done, and then it cuts to the opening chase with Paul Walker's character, because Paul Walker's still in these movies.
I've come around on Paul Walker in a big way in these movies.
So did I. I was watching them, I was like, he's garbage, and then in this one I was like, yeah, he's alright.
It's the suit. Suit makes him look authoritative.
It's the suit and the hair. He sorted himself out. He cleaned himself up.
But everything about Vin Diesel's Jedi car accident powers and the dumb drug running plot and the awful CG tunnels.
But the great CG city in that GPS system.
And the GPS system that has like Ridge racing girls on it. Yeah, that movie ends with him doing a carjacking from that Wheelman video game that nobody played.
I played that.
Like
You mean
he
Vin
leaps out of his
Diesel's
car
Wheelman?
into the enemy's car and then throws them out of the car, and that's like the climax of the movie.
And that's just like a frame 1 of Fast 6, so...
Yeah. So yeah, that movie maybe not great, but Fast 5.
Fast fucking 5.
Fast 5 is transcendent.
They make Tyrese not only bearable, but useful in that movie.
And likable.
And I'm like, how did you do that? How did you manage that?
Yeah, it is the best heist movie of the past ever.
Yeah. And even with the...
And Han's still alive, which is good because Han's the best part of all those movies.
I saw your tweets. Yep. They did not go unappreciated, and you're 100% accurate. That is the way the series is going.
Oh, those tweets, my 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You quote tweets. That's right.
Forget it, Han. It's
down. Yeah. They knew, like, Justin Lin made Tokyo Drift. That was probably going to be the last one of the series because it has no budget, it has no returning stars. It's a small movie.
That's the death nail. It's a new director, new young stars.
It wasn't direct to DVD.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it made money, bafflingly. And he's like, "Wait, I got rid of the guy that was the best part of this movie." So they just brought him back, make everything a prequel. Every time he's going to have a dumb line about, "I'm going to Tokyo someday."
Where do you want to go? Madrid? I thought you said you're going to Tokyo.
Get there someday. And then The Rock, who is always good, always appreciated, but is sweatiest and bulkiest in this movie.
It's the scene where you first meet him and he's just so perfectly on point as that character.
Yep.
What's the line he says? I think, yeah, it's like, "Get the fuck out of my way."
Yeah, they blew the fuck on him.
Perfect.
Just on setup. And that's best. Brilliant. Because these movies are so very, very, very PG-13.
Yeah, they are the definition of PG-13.
I think you guys are forgetting a clear, great part of Fast 5, which is Hakeem de Almeida. I'm white, fuck it. The evil guy from Fast 5, who's basically Hollywood's go-to actor for I need an evil South American.
We're not forgetting a great part of Fast 5. He is just a part of Fast 5. He is a facilitator for the great parts of Fast 5.
But
there are so many great parts of Fast 5.
My favourite is I won't spoil it, but the fact that it ends with a hustle in Britain, or Ocean's 11 ending twist on the heist. They have that moment, and you can imagine the bass line from Ocean's 11 kicking in, and everyone walking around with the money, and you're like, it's perfect.
That is a template for those movies, and I'm glad that they just stole it wholesale.
That scene, I'm now just going to just list off all the great, like the scene where everyone just arrives, where they call in everyone.
Yep. Got to get a team together. They literally have. We have to get a team together. Like, well, we need a chameleon, and they flash Tyrese, and they list everybody, and then have a montage, and then they all show up, and they all have past, despite the fact that some of them didn't even appear in the same movie together,
or haven't been referenced since.
Yep. Like, you should probably watch Too Fast, Too Furious, despite it being awful, so you know who Tyrese and Ludacris are.
I think it speaks to just how well the direction is in Fast 5 that they have things far more ridiculous than the Dukes have had at the end of Too Fast, but make it way more believable than that garbage stunt ever was.
Yep. And then they even have a montage at the end of what everyone did with all of their money.
Only one in the continent. Make that two in the continent.
Oh, everything about that series is great.
It
ends on such a weird. If you have not seen Fast 5, stay after the credits for a couple minutes you'll be basking in the afterglow anyway, and you'll get a stinger that will blow your goddamn mind.
It will blow your mind. It's so amazing. And it's not just what it does, but it's also the fact that the girl from Too Fast is there as well. For
You
no
mean
fucking
Eva
reason.
Mendes
Yeah.
from and from Bad Lieutenant. Crimes of Eva Mendes.
I think before we move on to the Fast and Furious 6 trailer, we would be remiss not to talk about Torque, despite the fact that it's not a Fast and Furious movie.
It is. It's a Fast and Furious movie in its heart.
Look at the bit where she goes, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. What dumb shit is that?
Torque is. If you'd only seen the first two Fast movies, and I think those were the only ones that were out when Torque was made.
Yeah, it was.
Torque is the answer to those movies before Justin Lin fixed them.
It is like calling out Fast and Furious, and at that point in time, it was in its total right to. It's
funny. My favorite part of Torque is there's a shot of like the FBI guy. He's just starting his SUV, and there's a shot of him inserting the key into the ignition. And the camera is like in the ignition, and the key they use has to be like literally a foot long to appear like that in the screen because of just how film works. Like that it's just a giant prop key that he's poking at the camera with, and that's even before they fight on bikes.
Fighting on bikes is dumb and fun, but that's not where that movie shines.
That ending where everything's on fire.
But I know the ending where it's like totally the Crank Tyler sped up chase.
Yep.
Oh.
No, Torque sits somewhere between Crank and Speed Racer. It's transcendent.
Yeah, you are not wrong.
I have that on VHS downstairs.
If you like Torque, you should watch Joseph Kahn, the director. His next movie was a movie came out last year called Detention, which is a weird postmodern slasher thing. It is amazingly goofy. It has time travel and teen movie references and slasher movie reference. It's ridiculous. It has Dane Cook in a likable role.
That sounds exactly what I want from the director of Torque.
Yep. Yeah. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You can find that on Netflix or something. I don't know. It got super limited release and made zero money, but it's a good movie.
I've become such a movie nerd that I don't...
It'd be a cult classic in 15 years, along with Torque and Speed Racer. So, despite not being anything about cars, I just want to include it in that category.
Torque and Speed Racer are already cult classics. Well, Speed Racer is already a cult.
I feel like Speed Racer's got a long way to go.
I don't know. Maybe I just surround myself with smart people, so I'm around people who like Speed Racer, but I think that movie gets its representation.
I would hope so. I saw that movie opening night and was way on board. I've been ever since.
That soundtrack.
Oh.
So, has everyone seen the Fast and Furious 6 trailer?
Yep.
I saw the Super Bowl spot, and that's enough.
That's enough, yeah. Kevin?
Yeah.
Here, how about this amazing picture that I've been saving because someone put it on Twitter?
Oh, I've seen that Twitter. I've seen that picture. I would like you to
everything about what Fast 6 is.
I would like you to
when does this happen?
describe that picture for the audience listening.
Okay, so it's what looks like the Vanishing Point Challenger on the left side of the frame being run over by a tank, and then on the right side is some British car. I don't know what it is. And in between is Tyrese leaping from one car to the other, like spread out in the air.
But not just spread out, like completely parachute styles.
Yep.
In a leather jacket.
Full stunt position. Full stunt position.
On a mountain road in these 60s cars is glorious. I could not be any more excited for Fast 6.
Yeah. If that's not one of your most anticipated movies of this year, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you are. Well, then what else is coming out this year, apart from Pacific Rim, which, hell yeah.
Before Midnight, which is going to we'll talk about some of that stuff when we talk about our main topic this week.
Indeed. Anyone else got any thoughts on the Fast and Furious 6 trailer beyond that just amazing picture? Which, to be honest, they could have just released that picture, put the name of the movie on it, and been done with marketing.
You're not wrong. It's so good. It's so good.
I have 2 questions.
Yes, go ahead.
Is the Bopay police lady still with Vin Diesel in that opening of that trailer?
I'm pretty sure.
Like, that whole thing from Fast 5, I was just like, you connect on a religious level or something? Like that, and then also, how awesome is it that, what's his name? Crap. Who's the evil guy? He played Zeus in The Immortals. What's his name?
Yeah, I don't remember that dude's name.
I recognize his face, though, and I think that's just kind of awesome that he's just like, no, I'm going to yeah, sure, I'll be your bad guy. And please tell me none of you guys give a fuck that Gina Carano is in this movie.
Why would I give a fuck?
I don't know, because all my, like, MMA friends are like, oh my god, Gina Carano's in this movie. She's going to kick, spoiler girl's butt. I'm just like, no, she's not good.
You know what? I don't care. She's in the trailer. Is Michelle Rodriguez's whole posse of, like, race thieves a bunch of, like, cool women? Because that would be great.
Oh, that'd be so good. That's perfect.
That would be good, but it's not.
I'm excited for Gina Carano's appearance only because I like Haywire so much.
I want to know if her voice will
be in it.
She is not goofy enough for this series.
I don't know. I think
she's going to play Deadly Straight.
Yeah, exactly. You play that, you don't acknowledge it. She does what she does, and she will fit right in. That's my guess.
I wonder if her voice will be in it though.
I think that was still her voice in Haywire, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they modulated it somehow.
Or did it get dubbed? I don't know. That's a shame. She did good in Haywire. I like Haywire.
I hate the people like, oh no, Gina Carano has to beat up Michelle Rodriguez in this movie because she's got legit Muay Thai skills. I'm like, this is a movie though. Michelle Rodriguez has star power that negates.
Does Michelle Rodriguez have star power?
To be honest, there was a wrestling fight between Vin Diesel and The Rock in the last one, so they're actually pretty right on in terms of expectation.
Yeah. But a Gina Carano and Michelle Rodriguez fight will not be as good as them throwing each other through walls.
I want them fighting in that plane.
That would be cool.
Yeah, fighting in the plane, and they're like, okay, we got to get out of this plane now since it's crashing.
Are they going to fight outside of the plane? Please tell me they'll fight outside of the plane.
I think my expectation here is, because of how Fast 5 was such a good team-up movie, there needs to be a fuckload of infighting now. Like, Paul Walker versus Vin Diesel. It has to happen. They have to fight.
They've been kind of at odds the entire series.
Straight up, like, guns to each other's heads. That's the point this has to get to.
No, it's just going to end with them having another race against each other that we don't see, because that's always how it ends. Fast 5 ends with them challenging each other to one last race, and then the end credits is their 2 cars, all CG stylized, racing around the entire world.
It's so good.
I want to see the movie that is just wacky races with Vin Diesel and Paul Walker.
Speaking of my idiot friend, his complaint was with Far 5, which is one of the things I think that's amazing about it, is that they build up to a street race and then they never even show it.
You look at the YouTube comments on any trailer, probably, but it was definitely on the Super Bowl spot. They are just dozens of kids, and I assume they're all kids, complaining that the movies are not about cars anymore.
The world isn't about cars anymore. It is not 2004.
They're like, I like this movie better. These series better when it's about street racing.
Not even Need for Speed has your back on that anymore. Move on.
Oh. God, who is it that's going to be? Oh, it's Michael Keaton. He's going to be in Need for Speed, the movie.
Oh, you're going to tell me Michael Keaton was in Fast 6.
I was getting...
He should play the evil guy.
You would have found a way.
Oh, okay.
I'll watch Michael Keaton in whatever he wants to do.
Where does the series... After Fast 6, where does the series go?
They become the Avengers of car thieves.
They were going to shoot both of them back to back and then decided against it.
Yeah, they decided against, which is a shame because
I kind of want them to like take some time and figure out where it's going. Think there's going to be a weird stinger for Fast 7 on Fast 6?
I think I've got it. Here's what they do: they use the Michelle Rodriguez thing is a kind of sci-fi thing which sets up the ability for Han to be in a post-Tokyo Drift movie. And then they cut like 10 years in the future with old mentor Vin Diesel running some criminal organization.
Like, why do you need to be post Tokyo Drift? Like, are you gonna bring in Lucas Black? No.
I just mean you acknowledge how old they are, and these are like experienced people on the streets telling everyone else what to do.
If you want to bring in Bow Wow, I'll listen to you because he's pretty good in Tokyo Drift.
Imagine 10 years older Bow Wow.
Oh man,
What is Bow Wow even up to? Man, I remember when he was little.
No one remembers when he was big.
He's got that green Hulk car, though.
yeah. Oh, Tokyo Drift's so dumb.
Yep, you are correct.
I just want Justin Lin to finally go make the Neuromancer movie. Just because I'm sure he'd probably make it dumb.
I don't know. What is the story with Justin Lin? Has he been trying to quit after each one, or has he just enjoyed it so much? Because I heard that he didn't really want to do 4, but I think after 4 he was on.
Yeah, he seems very aware of what he's doing in his life right now. When he's not directing some of the best episodes of Community.
Yeah,
that seems like.
That came back.
Yeah, so that is our public service announcement. That all good people should give you that Fast and Furious is pretty amazing, and you should watch more of it.
Yeah, in a world where people lose their minds over yet another adaptation of a comic book or a video game, this is like film's greatest original property. It would never work as a book. It would never work as a comic. It would never work as a video game.
It would never work as a TV show.
Yeah, it is a movie-ass movie series.
This is a dumb blockbuster in the best way, as opposed to like kind of comic cash-ins and stuff.
Have any of you guys seen stuff for the Transporter TV show for talking mildly related car series?
No.
I've never watched the Transporter movies.
Me neither. I should probably do that, but
you should. The first two are.
Jason Statham history begins and ends with Crank. So
have you not seen The Bank Job?
No.
The Bank
Job's great.
It's actually a genuinely great heist movie.
All right.
Like you watch it and you're like, the first 30 minutes you're like, what the fuck is Jason Statham doing trying to act? And at the end you're like, you're all right.
All right. It's no Crank 3, but I'll check it out.
Do we even have? That's not happening. Is there ever going to be a Crank 3?
I'm going to hold out hope.
Fast and Furious 7 is Crank 3. They combine.
Why don't they put him in those movies? It seems like a logical choice.
It's a perfect fit. The Fast and Furious.
He should fight Vin Diesel.
No, he should. I don't know. They've already done the Vin Diesel fights a guy thing, a big fighting guy. That's
Paul Walker fights a guy.
I want Paul Walker to be trapped in like a deadly chess game or something equally dumb, but apparently intellectual for some reason. That's what I want. I want Paul Walker in some dumb, like Die Hard with a Vengeance riddle stuff. I want that. That's what I want for Paul Walker's nemesis.
So you're saying that, all right, yeah, I'm okay with this. So the Jeremy Irons role is just going to be Chev Chelios?
Oh, dude. Well, if they get Jason Statham in and never have him fight anyone, he's just the brains.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
Put him in some glasses. That's all. That's all you do.
Yeah, write it.
He's
write
just
it
a
down.
health freak.
That'd be good. These are all great ideas.
Are we gonna talk any other movie news?
Yeah, we've got. Does Kevin have any movie news on the news desk in Canada? Kevin,
no, I don't have any news.
Paul Walker as Agent 47. Let's just get that out of the way real quick. Yay or nay?
I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
neither
pro
do
Paul
I.
Walker, but I don't care about any Hitman movie that is ever going to be made.
Though, as we have established in Fast and the Furious, the less hair Paul Walker has, the better he is.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a point of diminishing returns.
Well, that's what this movie is attempting to prove. It's going to find that point, and
he's too tan to be bald.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He's
looked
too
up.
tan to be an experiment, basically.
Also accurate.
God, Timmy the Elephant Bald just freaked me out so much.
They need to make a good Hitman movie.
They need to make good video game movies. I'd be happy with that. I don't need
I would.
specific.
They do, but I think Hitman could be like just by no story, just be completely just a series of assassinations with no explanation.
Isn't like the Hitman? Like I didn't see the Oliphant one, but isn't it an action movie?
Yeah.
Like, can't you just have a cool like spy like Hitman movie where everyone like it's just him sneaking and being awesome?
I would watch an entire if the 90-minute movie, or slightly less, if the entire thing was just one assassination sequence.
If it was the raid but with zero fighting, just sneaking and stuff.
Yes, exactly, and it all builds up to one.
I'm way into this movie now. It will never be that, but it
sounds like the equivalent to that like all gillied up mission from Call of Duty.
It's just a series of sequences of him sneaking around and setting up stuff, and then just the final 5 minutes, this entire contraption sequence playing out, and the guy dies, and that's it. No context.
Lots of costume changes.
Lots of costume changes.
Oh, just the ultimate Rube Goldberg machine montage.
This is never going to happen. I'm bummed out now.
Why can't we? We should just form a production company, get some like crazy money marks, make some movies.
Because it's not going to work. Who would go to see our movies?
I'm pretty sure a lot of people would go to see a movie predicated on this sort of stuff. They're good ideas.
They are good ideas.
Just market it the opposite way. Just market it as an action movie and then deceive everybody.
Seven Psychopaths.
Just lie to them.
Straight up lie.
I mean, it's not like that doesn't happen all the time anyway.
I remember the marketing campaign for Inside Man.
Really?
Yeah, because of how terrible the marketing campaign for Inside Man.
What was I don't know. I like Inside Man.
I like Inside Man as well. It was big action heist movie. It was all the gunshots. It was like
man.
Yeah.
The minute that you're told that's a Spike Lee movie, you should know that's not what that movie's going to be about.
I saw that in his year of release, so I was like fucking 13.
Oh, that movie's so good.
And I still liked it at 13. So
I love whatever weird Dick Tracy movie that Denzel Washington comes out of in that movie, because every character is in a different movie, and that's the best part of it.
I love the ending to that. I love the ending. I love the like kind of dumb non-moral. It's great. Inside Man's great. Any other news that we can just spit out there? And if anything happened ever?
No.
Accurate. Okay. Well, thus ends news, I guess. There's a new Iron Man poster. That's genuinely in the news section of this website I'm checking. Man poster.
Poster's probably better than the movie's going to be, if that helps.
I'm holding hope. The Iron Man movies are the only non-Avengers movies that have been worth anything, really, to me, at least. I know you have your Captain America love, but
but like, are we talking of the Marvel, like of the Avengers Initiative movies? Because I'll still throw down for Hulk.
Yeah, we're talking about those ones.
Okay. So Hulk does not count.
No, Hulk does not count, but Hulk does count.
Wait, you like original Ang Lee Hulk?
Ang Lee Hulk is one of the best superhero movies ever made.
It's been a while since I've seen that one. I'll look it up.
It is totally a subversion of what hero movies are, to be this Freudian examination of repression, especially like with Ang Lee directing it, is probably like Asian culture, like a repression of emotion as told through the Hulk. It's a bad superhero movie, but that's what I like about it. I think it's really smart.
I'll put that on my Netflix queue.
And it does some really crazy things with editing that very few movies have ever attempted to do since.
Yeah, because everyone says they're garbage, which is unfair, because they're trying something. Editing should not just be exactly the same in every movie. So they do some good stuff in Hulk. I'm looking through the news of that apparently happened. News is there's a new screenshot from City of Bones.
Oh,
I read that book, by the way.
We have an expert on City of Bones.
Was it any good?
It was okay. I would like it a lot more if I was like 16, but it's all right. It's
part of me wants
surprisingly violent. There's a lot of gore in that book.
I'm not surprised.
I don't think it's going to translate into the movie in the way I want it to.
Spoil me. How did it end?
I like set up for the rest of the series.
Oh, fuck it. Young adult novel series.
Part of me wants to go see Beautiful Creatures just because it has Jeremy Irons.
For the record, the City of Bones movie could be okay. from the book. The book is not unadaptable. It's pretty cinematic. If they get the creature stuff right, it could be kind of cool.
Who's directing that?
Way better than Twilight. Not as good as Hunger Games. There's your spectrum.
But I don't really.
That's a wide spectrum, though.
I don't like Hunger Games though, and
I liked Hunger Games quite a bit. It's better than the first couple Harry Potter books. How about that? Those turned into okay movies.
Oh, the books. I've got the books here to read, and I'm gonna go through them, but I didn't like the movie.
Oh, the Hunger Games movie. Hunger Games movie's all right.
Just the plot, just the way it bends over backwards to have any conflict with that main character in the most conflict-heavy scenario is just really like, come on, why do this? Why bother?
I don't know. We could talk about that at some point. Probably not today.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out who's directing.
When the second one comes out, like you have me back and we'll talk some Hunger Games.
Oh no, I got spoiled on both the fucking Hunger Games book. I was like, I'm gonna wait for the movies because I've never done that. I normally read a book. I wanted to do this movie style, and then I was at dinner and I was like, don't spoil the Hunger Games, and then they proceeded to spoil.
I'll be amazed if they don't change the ending of that third book because it goes real dark.
Yeah, I've heard. That's the one bit that wasn't actually spoiled. It was the exact end of the third book, but I've heard some dire things.
Yeah, if they do those, I will be very impressed with them just for going there.
Which now I'm on board.
Off well.
Because that first book had a very undark ending in a very dark.
Oh, the first book's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
The second book is my favorite because it is the most just a giant death machine situation.
Because I got someone told me the last, because apparently there's an impactful last line of that book, and that's what I know from book 2, which is a bit of a shame.
I don't remember that.
The big twist.
If you didn't see that twist coming, you weren't reading the first 2 books.
Oh, I haven't read the second book.
The interesting thing is the first movie does not set up that twist at all in the way like the books did.
Yeah.
So if they just pull that out in the second movie, it's going to be real weird considering they have not even mentioned that part of the world and backstory.
I can't wait. It's going to be a disaster, but a fun one.
But I think they're doing the last book as 2 movies, so they'll probably get to it.
That's a shame.
I hate that new thing of no, the last book has to be 2 movies.
It'll be I don't know. No one's pulled it off right yet, but
if you're gonna adapt a whole series and split it up like that, plan it from the beginning and just equally pace it properly.
Yep.
Do
a
it.
Hobbit.
Yeah, exactly. Don't stick to the book. Take this plot, take what you like about it, and then just do the series, making it work as one story. It's not that hard.
I don't want another Harry Potter situation where Harry Potter 7.1 was way better than 7.2.
You liked Harry Potter 7.1?
Yeah, it strips out all of the dumb lore stuff of Harry Potter, which is the least interesting part, and is just like these characters who actually like they've played those characters enough they know them, just like living in this weird, much smaller film for a long time. Like if you look at it as like I'm waiting for the resolution of the story, it's a waste of everyone's time. But as like this weird character indie film in the middle of the Harry Potter franchise, it's surprisingly good.
I think the only interesting part I find about Harry Potter 7, which is completely ignored and should have been the focus of both of them, is the rebellion in the school. Like Neville, if they made the same plot but had Neville
was the best part of those books anyway.
Exactly, he should have been the fucking main character. Same story from Neville's perspective, infinitely better books. Straight up.
You're not wrong.
Well,
are we going to talk about romance movies?
Yeah. I'm taking a break now, and then we'll do it in a new recording. Hold on.
I wanna be your HARLAND, 'cause you're the only girl that I wanna see. I wanna be your HARLAND. I wanna go out with you to the movie show and to the Horseshoe Tavern. You'll love it, I know. I wanna be your HARLAND. $100 is a lot to pay for a pencil, unless the pencil comes from Harlan Williams. I've got the sideburns, I've got the chin. Come on, baby, pretty baby, let me in. Oh, thank you. I've got the sideburns, I've got the chin. Come on, baby, pretty baby, let me in. Whoa. Don't you hate it when you yawn and a hot dog flies into your mouth? Oh, yeah, 'cause I wanna be your HARLAND.
Right, so Valentine's Day it actually now is Valentine's Day, this very second in England. So
Happy Valentine's Day, Jackson.
thank you, Matt. That means
What
a
are you
lot.
doing to celebrate?
Being very alone.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Yes, Valentine's Day, or as I like to think of it as, hey, you're fucking single.
Or hey, you're in a fucking relationship. Let's draw attention to your life in a way you don't want either way. Like, I'm not opposed to. It's not the corporateness that really gets me. It's the fact that it creates increased pressure on everyone, no matter what their relationship is. Unless you're one of those.
Spoken like a single person.
Unless you're unless you're in a relationship with someone who is equally just like relaxed about it. Then you're in the best position. But
I feel like if you're in the kind of relationship where you guys disagree on Valentine's Day, you probably have bigger problems.
oh no, I'm not disagreeing there. But lots of people are not in the best relationships. They're rare. They're rare beasts, which is a shame. But Valentine's Day.
You know, it's also a rare beast. Good romance movies.
Take it away, Matt.
No, I got nothing. You're hosting. I'm just being dumb.
You undermine what I'm doing my best to scramble a sentence together with no idea what I'm saying, so you undermine me completely. And I'm like, sure, fine, he's taken the reins, thank fucking Christ. And then you're like, no, I got nothing.
We had a segue, and then you just took it away from him.
He didn't have a segue.
No, you had a segue.
Oh, did I?
You had a
Yeah.
segue, and then you threw it away. Oh, this is great. This is great material here.
All right, fine. I'll take the ring, Mr. Host.
No, Kevin, what romance movies do you like?
What? I'm not paying attention. What's going on?
What do everyone think is a good romance or a bad one? So yeah.
Nicholas Sparks, Bad Romance. I like the song, though.
I think romance is one of those that is hampered a lot by subgenres being tacked onto it, and I'm speaking explicitly of rom-coms, which have basically ruined any actual gravitas that romance used to have. Because rom-coms are so riddled with cliche that it's fed back into romance proper, and the thing that you need most in romance, and why I think it's actually one of the harder genres to do right, is you have to care about the characters involved. You have to have good writing and good acting working together to make you give a shit. Otherwise, it doesn't work at all. And the amount of films that can actually do that is a shockingly small number.
Yep.
So, does anyone else here have an unabashed love for Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
I that is my favorite rom-com movie ever, because it is it actually takes the, like, no, she broke up with not Jason Spiegel's character. I just fucked up his name so bad.
You didn't. You just brought it up. You didn't need to.
Oh. Okay. Crap. All right, where was I?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
It takes the whole idea of, like, no, she broke up with you, and you deserve to be broken up with her because you were emotionally not there, and you ruined your relationship. It's not oh no, we need to have this rom-com. We need to have your relationship end. It was like, no, you really fucked it all up, and you deserve this.
I don't think it's like he's not emotionally there. I think he's just emotionally like juvenile.
Yeah.
In a very Judd Apatow sort of way.
Yeah. I'll go with that. But I like that they actually dealt with that. Like, no, she's not being a bitch. It was your fault.
She's just moving on with her life, basically.
Yeah.
going to Hawaii, and he's just following her.
Also, the one and only movie where I like
Kristen Bell.
no, I
Mila
like her.
Kunis.
No,
Russell Brand.
Russell
Brand. Yeah, only movie I like
Ooh,
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand.
He's legitimately good in it.
Wasn't that like his first big American movie, though?
Yep, it's the one that made him. Ugh.
And gave him a spin-off.
Yeah,
How was the spin-off to get him to the Greek? How was that?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. It looked kind of dumb.
It does look kind of dumb. Well, it has Russell Brand in it, so I'm like, no, thank you.
But is Jonah Hill's character the same person as in Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
I don't know.
I'm fairly sure it's meant to be in the same people, just without Jason Segel.
Well, Jonah Hill's in Forgetting Sarah Marshall as this like really creepy waiter that keeps following Russell Brand around, and then in the movie you get him into the Greek, he's like some assistant at like a music label.
Hill plays an entirely new character. Yeah, you're right. Okay, yes. I am
Also-
not very knowledgeable.
Also, Forgetting Sarah Marshall had some like great parodies of CSI. Just kind of like
Oh,
Shit, that was relevant 5 years ago. Oh,
Jason
shit.
Bateman.
it really was.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, and
Jason
I
Bateman.
really love that movie.
Jason Bateman's always good value for money.
Yeah.
Well, the Switch, change up. Do I have to go on?
No, but
Identity Thief.
In theaters now?
oh, hooray! I like Jason, but Jason Bateman was good in Juno, I guess. He was good.
Arrested Development.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
obviously, it's, he's great in Castle.
Up in the Air.
I didn't realize he was in Up in the Air. The beard threw me that much.
Wait, he
He was hiding behind the beard, basically.
But yeah, he was literally. I was like, "Who is that? Who is that boss guy? I know who that is." Oh shit! He had a beard. That cunning bastard.
Oh, he was also in
Oh.
Smoking Aces. No, he was.
Yeah, he was.
And State of Play.
Yeah, he was. All of those things are true. This
Let's
is not
just keep talking about Jason Bateman's career.
Guys, who
Let's
remembers?
not talk about Jason Bateman's career.
Who remembers Hancock?
Good job,
You know,
guys. Good job.
Hancock's all right. You
I
shut
like,
up.
I like Hancock. No, I'm there. Jason Bateman, best thing about Dodgeball. Fact.
Let's not talk about Jason Bateman anymore. Jesus.
This is why you don't look for me for guidance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
done with that.
Like,
I really like romance movies.
Which ones?
I don't like romance.
Hold on, you derailed the whole thing.
Yeah, I
fine.
know.
It's fine. No, look, what is the best or your favorite few? Don't one, because one is a dumb way of putting it, but great romance movies that everyone likes. So Matt, you go first because I know you and romance movies go back a long way, and yeah.
I wouldn't say back a long way. I just like them. I like all movies. Let's be real. But romance is fine. My favorite in my list of favorite movies of all time is Before Sunset, which is Richard Linklater's sequel to Before Sunrise, which was a movie he made with Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke in the 90s. And then made the sequel in the mid-aughts with the same characters. The first one is these two characters meet. Ethan Hawke's character is American, Julie Delpy obviously French. Meet like on a train, and they have a one-night layover, and they just talk and meet and fall in love, and they're like, we're gonna meet. Spoiler for a movie that's 2 decades old at this point. They at the end of the movie, they're like, we're gonna meet in 6 months, and then they part, and it's very wistful and very young person love. And then 10 years almost later, they pick back up, and they didn't meet, but they run into each other, and that movie is like 90 minutes, something like that, and progresses in real time as
this sounds great.
as it begins with Ethan Hawke's character, who is now an author, giving a book talk, and he has like an hour and a half before he has to catch his plane. But at the book talk, he runs into her again, and they rekindle this connection they had and analyze where their lives have been and where they're going. and is an amazing movie.
I need to see this right now. That sounds.
The sequel, Before Midnight, comes out later this year.
Oh, there's another one.
Yep.
That's good. I hope they keep being good because having a sequel
I've
be
heard
good.
nothing but good things about it. I'm trying to read as little as possible,
Yeah.
but everyone seems to adore it. So I'm very excited.
I appreciate that because that is so rare to have characters in movies that are like decades apart and still consistent and feel real and good.
And more interestingly, in between the two movies, Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy took a larger role in writing parts of Before Sunset, and so the characters they play are almost just fictionalized versions of themselves. Like Ethan Hawke's rather infamous divorce from Uma Thurman is kind of brought up and fictionalized. They're interesting. They're very, very worthwhile films to seek out.
That sounds great.
Also good, and this will allow Mike some time to chime in, is Wong Kar-wai's In the Mood for Love, which is about Hong Kong in the 1960s and about this man and woman who move in next door to each other in this tiny apartment, and their spouses are always off traveling, and they have this very repressed connection because it's China in the 60s, and is a gorgeously shot film about like what it means to be alone in a city, and that kind of isolation where there are literally thousands of people around you and you still feel like the loneliest person on the planet, which is kind of the through line of all of Wong Kar-wai's romantic films, including the also good Chungking Express, which I think Mike wanted to bring up.
Yeah, Chungking Express is two movies in one, essentially, where they're both romances that you don't ever really see finish. They don't ever really work. Oh, sweet, and Mood Love was on Netflix instant. But I just love that, like, no, they don't. It doesn't work for them in the end, kind of, sort of. They literally call out, our closest moment was a centimeter apart. I never saw her again after that because she fell in love with another guy 6 hours later. Cut to that. All of which is then set to California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah, that movie's pretty good.
Yeah. It like the whole part where she is redecorating his apartment threw me for a loop because I was pretty sure that she was redecorating her apartment into his apartment and then turning that apartment into what she wanted his apartment to really be.
There's some weird manic pixie dream girl stuff in that movie, but it mostly works because I feel like that movie relies on such like a shorthand. Everything is done through montage and this compression because it is telling two very distinct stories in a fairly short amount of time. It really works. That movie's really good too.
Yeah. And then just to kind of like complete I like romance movies that aren't really about romance movies. Paris Jetami, or how you say that in French?
Paris Je t'aime.
What he said?
It's Paris Je t'aime.
It's Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
I mean, saying Paris, I can understand that, but it's Je t'aime. Come on, guys.
No, Paris, I love you. That's how I learned to say it.
I saw that movie in a theater, and it said Paris Je t'aime on the poster.
I saw that movie in my AP Euro History class and was really tripping balls when Frodo just falls in, like, gets turned into a vampire all of a sudden, like it was out of Sin City.
That is the worst. I think that's the worst short in that whole movie.
It is.
is a series of shorts by a bunch of different directors, most of whom you've probably heard of if you're into movies. And I think that one is that not the why can't I remember that guy's name now? Oh, God.
I'm looking it up.
Science of Sleep guy. What's his name?
Michel Gondry.
Michel Gondry. I think that's Michel Gondry's short, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure he has one on there, though.
Yeah.
There was an American, while he looks it up, there was an American version called New York, I Love You.
Which isn't nearly as good.
Bafflingly, the best short on that one was directed by Brett Ratner.
So it sounds like a quality product.
No. It's a great short. It's really funny and really sweet.
Is it the one with Robert De Niro?
It's the one with the girl in the wheelchair.
Yes. Where they go out to like prom and she's like, I want someone to have sex with me even though I'm wheelchair bound. And then the twist at the end.
What's
Is that she was just a drama student, like pretending to be in a wheelchair because she's method acting?
I saw that coming, but that's still a good twist.
Yes.
Yeah. If we're calling out just segments, my favorite one is, let's see. I'm not going to be able to say what it really is called because it's all in French, but is the one of them is the Coen Brothers short with Steve Buscemi where he just gets beat up on a train station.
Yeah, there's some great directors in Parisian Time. You should definitely check that one out. New York, I Love You is definitely a lesser film.
Yeah, but like that movie just kind of like melted my cold heart because it was like, I don't like this romance shit. And it's like, no, love could mean many things. And so yeah.
Is that the sound your cold heart makes? The rrr.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Same sound when it happens to be raining and you can't wear flip-flops.
No, I wear my flip-flops in the rain, damn it.
Why do you wear flip-flops in ever?
Because this is California.
Don't you have different definitions to flip-flops than we do over here?
I don't know. Probably because you're British.
Probably. Anyway, let's talk about romance.
What are British flip-flops?
Well, they're the things with so just the sole, and then there's like a piece of rubber that goes between.
Yeah,
the
that's
toes.
a flip-flop.
Yeah,
and
right.
They're gross. And
They are.
If you're an adult and you're not at the beach, you shouldn't be wearing them.
Or even if you're at the beach, if you're at the beach, take some shoes and then take them off when you get to the beach. Dumb.
Yeah. I'm a pants and shoes kind of person. I don't even brook with adult men wearing shorts. Like, knock that shit off.
Yeah. Pretty much. There's a romance story right here between a man and his pants.
Okay. Yeah.
So Kevin, what about you? What about your favorite?
I guess I have to go with, it's kind of an obvious choice, but like Princess Bride for me.
I never really saw that as a romance movie, though. I
True
get where you're
love.
coming from.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't really outright like romance movies. I like more like romantic elements in sort of other films that aren't really romantic comedies, but like nice spirited adventure of just like romance in Princess Bride. Like that love is like the pushing force behind sort of the Princess Bride between Princess Buttercup and Wesley. Also, killer sword fights.
Mandy Patinkin, like, not as most Mandy Patinkin-ness.
Best Manny Patinkin with a mustache.
Yes. If we're going like just like good kind of light romance bits, I really kind of just dug Whisper of the Heart.
I've never seen Whisper of the Heart.
Studio Ghibli movie.
Oh, okay.
You're not wrong. Whisper of the Heart's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, but like that's one of those movies that I'm just like, no, it's just a good movie. It's
Yeah.
not a good romance.
I would also, just randomly for throwing things out, almost all of Woody Allen's more famous films are great romances.
Yeah, I was about to say that's kind of going to be incredibly boring and call my favorite romance Annie Hall because I'm an incredibly boring person.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it is a boring choice, but
It's
not
a boring
wrong
choice, but
It's not a wrong one.
Yeah, exactly. It's popular for a reason. So, I mean, because again, I haven't not through like a dislike of romance movies. Like I've seen a few, but I saw 500 Days of Summer, and that's a hot steam pile of garbage.
500 Days of Summer is a terrible movie.
It's a really bad movie. Yeah. Oh man, it's
If you want to see a better modern, like, nice guy, manic pixie dream girl subversion, just watch, Eternal Sunshine is a great romance movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 500 Days of Summer is so bad. That ending was one of the worst. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Make your mind up, film. But no,
Hey,
guess,
Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson. Her name's Autumn.
That's not even the bit. That's not
I know,
even,
but to me,
30
that was
Days of
just the
Fall.
icing on the fucking cake.
I already knew her name was Autumn going in, so
Okay.
I didn't get that. You are fucking kidding me moment, which I
Yeah.
assure you I would have had.
When I had heard nothing about that movie and kind of saw it on a whim, that was the worst thing.
Did you just go out of the cinema and just be like, what the fuck? because someone should have done that. The problem with that movie is that it tries to be like not a romance movie, but a coming of age movie about him learning to be a better person and not rely on his bullshit hope thing and be a more responsible human being, and then throws that out the window at the end again. It's like, no, actually, it is all fate. And what are you trying to say? And you don't understand how human beings work.
So it's like Silver Linings Playbook then.
Oh no! Don't. Right, we're not talking about Silver.
Let's talk about good movies. You know what's a good romance movie? Jackie Brown.
That's what I was. Yes, I was. That was the eventual point I was going to get to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Jackie Brown is a good romance movie. It's a great one. I like it. It's a great one.
Yeah.
I think what I put on my dumb review was that it's a Tarantino direction, nuanced, nostalgic masterpiece about romance, aging, and responsibility, and audiences disappointed by the lack of hitmen discussing cheeseburgers.
Yeah. Jackie Brown's a better movie than Pulp Fiction, guys. I hate to break it to you.
It's not like it's just a better movie. Like, it's clearly outclasses it in every area. Like,
yeah.
Pulp Fiction is great, but come on.
I wanted to bring up a nice old school pick. Not a pick, a whole series of picks. If you like your comedy smart and talky and your romance is light and kind of goofy, you should watch everything Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy did together. I'd recommend Philadelphia Story, Woman of the Year, Desk Set, whatever. It doesn't really matter. They're all great. And then realize that they had one of the most infamous Hollywood romances, despite the fact that he was married at the time that they're making these movies together, and then watch Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which is kind of a good movie anyway. A little tangential movie history for you. But that movie ends, I assume everybody knows what Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is about, right?
Yep. I saw Star Trek 6.
What?
There's a Guess Who's Coming to Dinner line in Star Trek.
Really? Okay. It's a really good movie. Dated because of its politics, but good movie. At the end, there is a speech that Spencer Tracy gives about realizing that he is out of date and old-fashioned because he is the racist dad in that movie. And at the time, Spencer Tracy is dying of cancer and dies weeks later, and everybody knows it on set, including Katharine Hepburn, who is in the back of the shot as he's giving this speech about his eventual obsolescence and just breaking down crying, which is the saddest thing in all of movie history.
That sounds awful.
Yes.
Wow.
It is neat movie trivia and also heartbreaking to know that about them and to watch all these fun movies when they were young and watch this heartbreaking thing play out on film when they were old. Which is kind of most romances, good romances, are horribly sad.
Oh yes, that's the core problem of the romantic comedy is that it's that inability to have a more melancholy streak to them, because romances in life aren't always happy things.
Yep. Every romance ends with either a breakup or someone dying, just in life.
Yeah, that is a fact. Hooray!
It's probably why people like That Amore movie.
Yeah, that's playing here this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to see it, but I really want to.
That's why Clerks 2 is so garbage, because of what it tries to do. Oh, man.
But there are things about Clerks 2 I like.
Clerks 2 is a good movie.
That is also why Chasing Amy is actually a pretty good romance.
Yep. It's that his complete misunderstanding of how to overcome his problems at the end is so good.
Yep.
Nah. Chasing Amy. No, damn it, Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that really great romance movie, Zack and Miri?
Oh my God.
Fucking Christ.
Did you see the remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with not Steve Harvey?
I did not. I don't know who's in it, but I did not.
Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac, that's his name.
Ashton Kutcher. Oh, wasn't Kerry Washington in that movie? I think she is. That's really disappointing.
She's apparently in this. She's either in Scandal or some other NBC show now.
Yeah, it's Scandal. I want to watch that now.
Oh, yeah, I was now more interested because, oh, wait, that's Kerry Washington. I might have to watch that.
I have another romance movie that's sort of depressing, like in its conclusion, but also sort of like, I don't know, inspiring to a certain degree. Is this movie called Once.
Yeah, Once is great.
Yes. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, like just as like kind of this somber relationship between this. I guess the characters don't even really have a name in the movie. They're just like referred to as boy and girl or something like that. But it's just like these two people from sort of like this Irish singer and then this Czechoslovakian girl, and they're both. They're musicians in real life. This is like, what are their names in real life? It's Glenn
Haskard, I think it is, and Marketa Inglova. Is that her name?
Yeah, they're musicians in real life, and they made this movie, and all the music.
Then they hooked up in real life, and then subsequently broke up.
Yeah.
So twice then.
Yeah.
And it's
we're
just
going to talk about musicals that are good romances. Everybody needs to see Hedwig and the Angry Inch. If you have not done that at this point in your life.
I haven't, so I probably should.
No one's going to back up Hedwig? Oh, man.
What is that movie?
John Michael Cameron film? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. Isn't it like... Or no, I'm thinking of a different film. Never mind. Don't mind me.
Just watch it. Like, the less you know going in, the better your experience will be. It's a musical. It was based on a stage show. It is romantic in the broadest sense. It's also really funny and really depressing, like all good things.
See, like, that's what I don't like about romance movies. Why can't we just have interesting relationships? Why does it got to be all love?
I like it. A lot of the best technically.
Romance inherently implies love. Like, otherwise you're just making a drama.
Yeah.
I get what you're trying to get at. Like, some of the best, not better, but some really good, powerful relationship stories do not involve anything sexual about them. You can have platonic love stories and they work just as well. And there's, in like rom-coms, you get this over-reliance on the whole, kiss at the end, that kind of thing, which undermines a lot of truth about you being a human being, which is that the actual relationship isn't the victory.
But sometimes there are like escapist
they're not
Hollywood romances that work. I would point to, if you want an old school pick, Shop Around the Corner with James Stewart. Or if you want a new school pick, I like Sleepless in Seattle a whole lot. I like When Harry Met Sally. These are pretty saccharine movies that work.
That really new school movie, Sleepless in Seattle.
You know what? Kind of the closest you're going to get to a modern movie that actually works and is romantic. I would make an argument for Love Actually, but I know that I'm probably the only one.
I love Love Actually.
I've only seen the last 5 minutes of it because it was on TV, so I guess that's the wrong way to go. Because without the context, that looks
You're
like garbage.
British.
Yeah, but I haven't seen Love Actually, so.
Go see that movie. It's the second best Christmas movie ever made, and really just good romance movie.
But I've seen the last 5 minutes now, and without the context, it did look terrible because I wasn't invested in the characters. And then whenever you have anything that emotionally bare and what it's doing, without
I had no idea Rick Grimes was British until I watched Love Actually.
Yeah, that's one of those things where I'm just like, man, he's gonna get on a plane to Atlanta and shit's just gonna go wrong.
Zombies, actually. I'd watch that.
I'll throw out
Of course you would.
a newer movie that's romantic comedy. I really like the movie Waitress with Kerry Russell, and she's in this like sort of bad relationship with her husband, and then she finds out she's pregnant. But then she starts falling for the local doctor, who's played by Nathan Fillion. A nice, really charming movie.
This is where it's becoming increasingly obvious the fact I haven't seen anywhere near enough films.
I would throw out I'd throw out Young Adult as a good modern romance.
No.
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Well, the heart of that movie is in a romantic context.
If you want to... Okay, it depends how we're defining things, because yes, that movie is genius, but... Okay, yes, sure. If we're saying a good movie that is about someone's understanding of what they think romance is, yes, it's amazing, okay? Because, goddamn Young Adult.
Yeah.
Damn. Man.
Part of me almost.
Also, how have none of us brought up Wes Anderson's obsession with romance in his films?
Because I was like sitting on Rushmore. I was like, do I bring up Rushmore? I will soon, maybe. Yeah. Because I don't know. Wes Anderson's films are great. All of them have some kind of.
Rushmore is probably the most explicitly romantic of his films.
I don't.
I think that movie is about those two's opinion of Olivia Williams and how they interact with her.
It is, but then Royal Tenenbaums is also correct. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that Rushmore has so much going on in it that I don't know. I would say that Bottle Rocket probably has a bit more of an obvious romance thing.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm gonna go. Yeah, you're probably right.
With the way it does that girl thing. Actually, no, fuck it. Moonrise Kingdom. What am I talking about? That just came out.
Yeah,
That's true.
I was just kind of like, what about Moonrise Kingdom? It's kind of obvious.
I forgot it existed.
Oh, Moonrise Kingdom's pretty good.
It is. It is a great movie. I just forgot about it. Sorry.
Bruce Willis has hair in it.
Bruce Willis acts in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's the last time that happened?
I don't
Die
know.
Hard.
Guess what? It wasn't Looper.
Yeah.
Yeah, people should stop saying Bruce Willis acts in Looper because he's technically evil. He's
No.
Bruce Willis.
He only the only reason people think he acts is because Joseph Gordon-Levitt does his best to do Bruce Willis, and reminds you that Bruce Willis used to act.
Back in the old days, like I saw that Twilight Zone episode. That was pretty good. Where he was disappearing. There were two versions of him, and one of them was being erased. He was pretty good in that. I just brought up the Twilight Zone. Sorry.
Oh.
Did I kill it with a Twilight Zone reference? Is that what I did?
Maybe. I don't know. I wish more smart romances were being made. Even something that's really flawed. I liked, to a reasonable extent, The Adjustment Bureau, which is heavily predicated on a romance. In fact, that's the part of that movie that works, because the rest of it is nonsense.
I think that Adjustment Bureau works more, better in that way, just because Emily Blunt and Matt Damon have better chemistry together than sort of the script they're given.
Here's a good modern romance for you. The Fountain is the best.
Oh,
You're wrong. If you're gonna trash The Fountain, it's Aronofsky's best film.
It's boring. That's what it is.
No, you're wrong. Oh my God, I'm with people who don't like The Fountain.
I haven't seen The Fountain, so
I think you'd like The Fountain, Jackson.
okay. I've now got a text document up with about 15 million films you've all mentioned in the last 20 minutes. I have now my long list of films to see.
Like your talk of I want more smart romance movies. Yeah, me too. Smart anything is good.
You're gonna have to look indie and foreign most of the time.
Has anyone else seen A Royal Affair that came out?
No, I haven't.
That's pretty good. Is the worst possible. Expectations are low in a story, a foreign period drama about an affair of a king in a war or whatever it was, and it's just this really good love story, but also politics story. It's really smart. A Royal Affair. It's amazing. You should all watch it. That's all good.
Because I have a sappy side to me. I totally dig getting those moments. I just want them to be smart.
Yeah, and the problem is that they are so often not when you're talking about typical Hollywood product. Nicholas Sparks is not smart. It is pandering and dumb and awful.
God, has anyone else laughed at the ending of The Notebook?
I saw The Notebook in a theater.
So how did that go?
Shit.
Everyone around me was crying, and I was very confused.
Well, so what happens at the end of the book?
They magically die together.
Fuck off. What?
Because the framing device is that they're old, and is it her that has Alzheimer's?
Yeah. She has the Alzheimer's, and he's got the notebook of their life together, and he reads it to her. Yeah. And then she has the moment of clarity, and then they hop into bed, and they both die in each other's loving arms.
Have you seen Bicentennial Man? That's how that movie ends, too.
I thought he becomes human at the end and wanders
and then he
the world.
dies with if you can hear my phone ringing, I'm very sorry. It's across the room. He dies with the person he fell in love with. I don't remember her name. Portia. That's right, because it's dumb.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, Bicentennial Man also isn't really a good movie.
No, it's terrible. But we're talking about bad romances, and The Notebook reminds me because it has the same ending.
Like all Nicholas Sparks movies, really. Like we got Safe Haven coming out this week. They're all so the same.
All I know about them is that if you look at all the Nicholas Sparks movie posters, they are literally exactly the same. They are the same posters over and over and over again. If you go to Wikipedia and click through all the posters, it is generally raining with a kiss about to happen between the two main characters. It is ridiculous how similar they are.
Yeah, it was Miley Cyrus was in one of them.
Which one was this?
I want to say it was the last song. Let me see. Filmography, LOL, Sex and the... it was the last song.
Channing Tatum was in a... Which one was Channing Tatum in?
Well,
he was the letter.
The lucky one. My friend went to cinema. I had to choose between seeing that and Chronicle, and he chose the lucky one.
Oh, why would you choose the lucky one?
He was with a girl who wanted...
Fuck it. No.
I agree.
I will not, like... That's one of the things I just don't get about people. Like, no. Sit through a shitty movie or make them expand their horizons. Maybe that's why I'm single. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll never know. We'll have to scientifically test it or something. But yeah, no. So like, if we're talking about explicitly about some bad fucking romantic movies right now, what are some of the ones that drive you the wrong way the most?
Well, anything Nicholas Sparks. I have a really undying affection for 10 Things I Hate About You, because that's actually mainstream Hollywood shit that I kind of really love. That's completely counter to what you just said, but still.
10 Things I Hate About You is a Shakespeare adaptation, so of course it's good.
That's not always true of all Shakespeare adaptations, though.
Oh, I know. I'm being facetious.
I fucking hate Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah, all good people do.
Yeah.
Do you mean Romeo and Juliet or Romeo plus Juliet?
If we're talking about Baz Luhrmann's, I think that movie's awesome.
Well, yeah, there's the Baz Luhrmann-ness to it all, which is cool, but I fucking hate the play.
No. Just the Baz Luhrmann one points out how dumb the play is, I feel like. Because the play is predicated on children acting like children and doing things that anyone who spent 5 minutes thinking about their actions would not actually do.
Yep.
My favorite Romeo and Juliet is the one in Hot Fuzz.
The one in Hot Fuzz is pretty great. It's also pretty spot on for those kind of amateur fucking dramatic things.
And it's basically an adaptation of the Baz Luhrmann movie.
It's the way it cuts to the dance sequence immediately after they die.
Oh, that just made me think of A Knight's Tale, which is really a shitty, trite romance, if you think about it. Yeah. Good soundtrack.
I remember when they were promoting that movie, it was always the Queen song "We'll Rock You" was in every single preview for that movie.
I've never seen that movie because of that nonsense.
You need to see that movie because they dance to Golden Years.
What?
You're not selling me here.
It is.
The film, which took place in the Middle Ages, is notable for its deliberate use of classic rock songs in its soundtrack. The 10 songs are as follows: 1. We Will Rock You. 2. Low Rider. 3. Taking Care of Business. 4. Golden Years. 5. Further On Up the Road. 6. Get Ready. 7. I Want to Take You Higher.
That's not a classic rock song.
The Boys Are Back in Town. We Are the Champions, and You Shook Me All Night Long. I like a good anachronistic soundtrack as much as the next guy, but this
sounds like Rock of Ages. I need to check this out.
Medieval Rock of Ages.
It's pretty enjoyable.
Did nobody bring up Lost in Translation yet?
No,
why has that not happened?
I was gonna, but again I didn't. So
I mean, it's an obvious choice, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
But what else do we say about it? Bill Murray.
It's good.
It's good.
It still
There's
holds up, I
another-
feel like.
It does.
There's another Bill Murray indie movie that is kind of in the vein of Lost in Translation.
Ghostbusters.
No, it's
Are
Small
you going to talk about
Flowers?
Broken Flowers?
Yeah, that's
The Jim Jarmusch movie? That's it's kind of an anti-version of that. But
Oh.
yeah, that's a great movie. It's he's like this aging womanizer. He wears a lot of tracksuits, being Bill Murray. And he gets a letter, an anonymous letter from a woman who is like, well, we had this son 18 years ago, and he ran away from home, so he might be coming to see you. And not knowing who it is, he's convinced by his neighbor, played by Jeffrey Wright, to go on this road trip to all the women it could be and ask them. And it was this very much like rediscovering all the awful things you did when you were young kind of movie.
That sounds like High Fidelity to the nth degree.
I haven't seen High Fidelity.
It goes through his past 5 breakups and
Okay. Broken Flowers is pretty good. It is super indie and has 0 resolution. So it's that kind of movie.
that's what I want.
Me telling you it's from Jim Jarmusch should tell you what kind of movie you're in for.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird indie romances, Wild at Heart is a great romance. I was just dragging through my mind trying to find a good Nicolas Cage movie to bring up because there's just so many options. Because Face Off, great romance movie.
Nicolas Cage is our greatest actor of all time.
Wild at
We'll go to
Heart
him.
is probably his best romantic film.
I have to disagree because Moonstruck.
Wild at Heart is so good, though. I'm not even being like ironic about that. Wild at Heart is great.
I don't.
I'm kind of ironic about my love for Moonstruck because I'm Italian.
Oh, okay.
It's not really. It's more liking it for different reasons, but it's not ironic. You still like it.
No, I kind of like it to like jokingly with my mom because yeah. Anyway,
Was Jackson going to tell me that Wild at Heart is not good?
Jackson was not going to tell you that. Jackson has not seen Wild at Heart because Jackson doesn't see enough films.
Do you like if you David Lynch and does a Laura Dern and Nicolas Cage romance where he basically is playing fake Elvis?
Because I haven't actually seen any. I don't think I've ever seen a Nick Cage movie where Nick Cage isn't doing bad Nick Cage. I think those I've only seen.
Bad
Latter Day.
Lieutenant? No, Bad Lieutenant's bad Nick Cage on purpose though.
Yeah,
So,
I want to see that. This is still post Face Off. I think.
Bringing Out the Dead is probably the most actorly Nick Cage, and is actually good.
on the Nick
Not a
Cage
romance, but good.
on the Nick Cage tip, Peggy Sue got married.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I just dig the gimmick of she is okay, and she thinks she is sent back in time to the point where she's about to have sex with Nick Cage, who wants to write he writes a Beach Boys song before the Beach Boys write it. I think it's the Beach Boys. Anyway, he writes this what would have been a big pop culture song, but he never gets to do that because he knocks up Peggy Sue. And in the end, it turns out she's just been in a coma for a couple days. And it like fixes their relationship and stuff. Good gimmicky kind of romance movie. What are your favorite romance things outside of film?
Real life. I'm just in love with being alive.
I don't.
That's a hard question.
Like,
It's a very hard
Are you
question.
like for books or like?
Yeah, books,
TV.
comic books, TV, whatever.
Have comic books ever done romance good? I actually liked what Scott Pilgrim the books did with romance way more than the movies did.
Yeah.
I'd bring that up.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim comes to mind.
Books. I read a lot of books, but I feel like none of them are worth mentioning on a romantic front.
I guess like there's not really that many shows, like TV shows that are just about romance. Like
I like
guess it's more
romance
about
in shows, but I like them when they're unrequited.
like
You want
out
to
of
talk about Niles and Daphne or Pam and Jim? these are things that were better before they were real.
All of them are better before they're real, but then the longer you draw it out, the more annoying it gets. So
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Fucking, I hate Ross and Rachel from Friends infinitely.
that's just because you hate Friends, because you're a good person.
Yeah.
I think if there's one show that I've watched recently that really made me like cheer for a romantic couple would be, oddly enough, Battlestar Galactica between Edward James Olmos' character and Laura Roslin. It's like old couple relationship sort of thing like that have accepted sort of like their mortality and then sort of together. It's really nice and sweet, and it's not like prototypical romance, like will they, won't they, that TV does so often.
For some reason, that's making me think of the most disappointing romance resolution I can think of, which is the amazing wedding in the beginning of Star Trek Nemesis. Oh, yeah.
Why would
don't
you
do this
watch
to
that
me.
movie
Why
in
do
the
you-
first place?
I like Star Trek Nemesis, but I'm not going to defend the wedding scene. So
Star Trek. You know what? When I think back on it, seriously, Nemesis is probably the best Next Generation movie.
that's because you don't like First Contact. So of course it
First
is.
Contact's terrible.
When I go through the series as a whole, I'll see how I reassess my view. But right now, I like First Contact.
What is the best Star Trek romance?
Star Trek's not about romance.
Well, they had romantic partners in it.
I would say the Troy Riker thing before the movies is actually pretty good.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's why. Yeah.
No, never mind. I'm an idiot. Odo Kira, all the way.
Yeah, I'd also maybe say Worf and Dax.
Yeah, also
Before
good. Just
before they changed the actress.
Let's be explicit. DS9 is the best Star Trek.
I've
It
heard
does
I've heard-
everything.
that's the one I've seen the least of.
As someone who's never really watched Star Trek, should I just watch Deep Space Nine?
No, because I feel like Deep Space Nine works best when you understand what the world is supposed to be, and then understand what DS9 is doing to subvert that.
Yeah, DS9
Deep
is.
Space Nine is very much an answer to Next Generation.
Okay.
Because it's like it
And
takes
to be
away
fair,
from like Starfleet stuff.
Next Generation is still very watchable, but it belongs to an older paradigm of television.
I've started the first Star Trek season, and the first Star Trek still pretty holds up well. When it does it well, it holds up. So,
Original series, or
yeah, like the Corbomite Maneuver, still a great episode of television.
there are good episodes. I think I don't particularly like the original series because I feel like its datedness hurts it a lot, but there are episodes that definitely hold up.
Yeah, but not many romance stories in Star Trek.
No, that's not what that's known for.
No.
Terrible romances, all the Batman movies, except for the Nolan ones because they kill her.
No, Mask of the Phantasm, best Batman romance.
Oh, okay, yeah. That actually is good.
Yeah.
But oh god, Nicole Kidman, Val Kilmer, and Batman Forever was so bad.
If you want to talk about the romance between me and Seal singing "Kiss from a Rose," we can talk about Batman Forever's romances.
Oh, that's probably one of my favorite things in that whole film is the fact that it made Seal's "Kiss from a Rose" popular again. I love that soundtrack.
It's the best part of that movie is the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh.
Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face in that movie. Do you understand how baffling that is? That happened and was so bad?
Yeah.
Did he just get paid a lot of money?
Yeah,
He did it for his kids. And like the opening scene with him is really good because it's really kind of Two-Facey. And then he just
if they
camps
played
it
that
up.
movie straight,
He
I
would have been a
think
great Two-Face.
He's Two-Face, yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been any Billy D. Williams, but
Who would?
Yeah, how could we not talk about the greatest romance of all, Han and Leia? Yeah.
I thought you were talking about a different Han there. I was about.
Yes, we go back to Han and that chick from Fast and the Furious. We get to Fast 6 and they've awkwardly just broken up like, oh, we're working together again. She saves his life at one point.
Han and Leia's not that great a romance.
Oh no, it's really kind
I've
of
only
bad.
seen New Hope, so I think the best romance is Luke and Leia. What about that? You could, if you only saw that movie, that would be a totally legitimate opinion.
Oh yeah, it would. But
That's
I am
amazing. If someone had only seen A New Hope, I think we need to find this person.
I don't know if they exist. Well, if you could find someone who's only seen New Hope and doesn't know their siblings, then
I feel like that part of the fiction is not as pop culture as everything else.
I don't know. Well, just the prequels, the fact that there are two of them.
Sure. But nobody gives a shit about the prequels except for Star Wars fans at this point.
No, I know, but
I don't give a shit about the prequels.
I would have said if in 5 years those people would be around and you'd find them, but because they're gonna make some new fucking Star Wars movies, that's not the case. Ugh, new Star Wars movies, I don't care so much. Yeah, oh, that was news. J.J. Abrams directing that. Does anyone care?
Oh, I figured you guys had talked about that already.
No, this is how long we.
If it gets him off of Star Trek, I don't give a shit. Let him do what he wants. Just
Pretty
leave
much.
Trek alone.
I don't give a shit about Star Wars. I don't give a shit about J.J. Abrams. I do give a shit about Star Trek.
I give a shit about J.J. Abrams, and then I think he ruins the things he touches.
but I don't.
I come on, you don't enjoy Felicity? Oh wait, TV show.
Yeah.
No,
I want to talk about J.J. Abrams' films. I've seen them all. Guess what? They're all terrible.
Yeah, there are exactly 6 minutes of his films that are good, and
I still need to know what time period it's going to be set in to make a decision, because
Star Wars time period.
Episode 7. Yeah. Episode 7 is post Return of the Jedi.
It's a long time ago. There you go.
It depends on if they are if they're acknowledging pre-existing expanded universe canon.
They've
or
already
not.
said that. Because
Well,
come on.
Either that or just make a movie in the Old Republic, because that just lets you rewrite
They're going to
history.
have the existing actors who agree to take the paycheck show up as the old versions of their characters. You know this is going to happen.
I would rather have that than
I don't want that.
But it's not going to be about them. They're going to be in the periphery of whatever this movie is.
Luke's gonna not Luke. It's gonna be Han, because Han's the only one they'll will.
It's going to be old Luke in a robe running a Jedi Academy. That's
They
going to be
called
in this
him up
movie.
like 2 years ago and were like, look, Mark Hamill, we know you're doing animation a lot, but we need to get you more presentable for this film. And Mark Hamill was like, back off, I'm doing more.
He's just going to be in a robe. He doesn't need to be presentable.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like.
He will be in that movie for like a minute and a half. But he'll be in it.
I know I'm going to see it. I don't want to see it. I shouldn't need to see it, but I know I'm going to end up seeing it. Why?
So Star Wars prediction is the only recurring characters are going to be Luke and Anthony Daniels doing 3PO's voice.
No, Lando shows up.
No, absolutely not.
If Lando's not in that movie, I will actually not do anything, because it's probably a dumb bet.
Do you know
You
how
already
old Billy D. Williams is?
Oh, about the same age as everybody else.
He showed up in Red Alert. He'll show up for Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Billy D. Williams is in his 80s.
In his 80s. Oh, he's 75.
You just checked
God.
that?
Yes.
For some reason, I just imagined LeVar Burton filling in for Billy D. Williams as Lando.
If the Star Wars movie begins and it is Star Trek, that'd be pretty funny. But like, not J.J. Abrams Star Trek, like genuinely, like full on Next Generation style, flats, people talking Star Trek.
I'll see. Whatever Star Wars movies they put out, I will end up seeing, because I know I will,
Yeah.
even if I don't care about Star Wars.
Yeah,
You guys should find the Star Wars Legacy comic, because that's actually pretty good.
Nope.
I'm good.
I had my blush with extended universe when I was a child. I read a bunch of novels that were dumb about Jedi. I read a bunch of cool novels that were about X-wings, and that's it.
That's because Jedi are dumb and X-wings are cool.
Exactly.
Yep.
You all saw that? Did you see that Penny Arcade comic about the Star Wars Expanded Universe?
No.
It's there's Gabe is watching it, and he's like, he decides to go back into the audiobook and see if Star Wars Expanded Universe is any good. Turns out the zombie raising Sith is called Darth Undeadu.
Are you serious?
I'm not making that up.
Oh.
So romance movies, right?
Yeah.
That's it. We're done. We're wrapping this shit up. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Romances should be better than they are, and I wish more people would try.
Yep.
But there's still good ones coming out.
There will always be good romances. They're just not. When you say a name of romance movie, people don't actually think of what a good romance movie really is. I feel like, I don't know, because when people say romance, you think rom-com.
Yep, and I blame rom-coms entirely.
Yep.
So let's just blame Matthew McConaughey and
No, how dare you? Take that back. Take that back.
I'm a McConaughey fan, more or less. So
so am I, but still, he was the go-to guy for rom-coms.
Let's blame Judd Apatow and Nicholas Sparks. In equal measure.
No, actually, I kind of dig Knocked Up on that. Like, it's an awkward, shitty romance level. Oh, I knew you'd react like that.
I think Knocked Up is a really gross movie on a lot of levels.
I would like you to tell me why.
Because it's awful. It's one of those that's predicated on, like, these terrible gendered cliches, and it also belongs to that set of these movies about pregnancy. Juno is also guilty of this, that don't even decide to mention abortion because apparently that's taboo.
Well, no, Juno does. She tries to go into the clinic.
I guess.
They
But
don't say the
in
word.
the real version of that situation, she'd get rid of that kid.
Oh yeah.
And in this real version of Knocked Up, especially, she'd get rid of that kid.
And I saw Juno recently. Had some good bits, but real problems with that movie.
Juno is by far Diablo Cody's worst movie. Reitman too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It's not a bad movie. but
That's saying Jennifer's Body's better than Juno.
Jennifer's Body is better than Juno. Jennifer's Body is pretty cool. I feel like that movie gets unfairly shat upon.
Okay.
It's silly. I feel like it's about a very honest part of like teenage friendships. It's like the original Buffy movie before the TV show. It's not like the greatest movie in the world, but it smartly sends up the things it's about.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was romance movies mostly.
Yep.
At some point, we talked about romance movies and just films because films are cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thanks for listening.
Unless they're Star Wars, then they're not cool.
Then they are most uncool. And you were saying about how he's only going to bring back 2 actors. He's going to bring back as many as the older ones he can because Leonard Nimoy.
But I assume that Harrison Ford will be dead. And
that's going to be so sad because Jack Ryan and Indiana Jones will be dead.
You know, Shia LaBeouf's still kicking.
No, that's not canon. That's not canon. God, Shia LaBeouf's going to be in a Lars von Trier's movie where he has actual sex.
I am so excited for that movie, though. Romantic films that I'm excited for coming out this year. We can talk about Nymphomaniac.
All I know about that is that there was a big news story about Shia LaBeouf's girlfriend who she was just like, "What the fuck?" That was that's basically her reaction to that, which is an understandable reaction. I can see where she's coming from, but Shia LaBeouf wants to do serious stuff, I guess.
Yeah, he's a serious actor, man. He saw Channing Tatum do it.
I remember a time where I was excited to see Shia LaBeouf.
I saw Holes. If you saw Holes, and that's the only thing you saw, you'd be like, this guy's pretty good.
That's exactly what I mean, because Holes is great.
Yep. I kind of liked him in the first Transformers movie.
Oh, he wasn't necessarily terrible in that. He did a decent performance with a subpar script.
But then Transformers 2 happened.
Yeah, right. I'm ending this before we talk about Transformers 2.
Yep. Okay.
Here at the bar, who cares what I do? I'm all alone, but I'm drinking for 2. Drowning the man that I used to be. Nobody loves you like me. I won't sign a thing, or else if I do, I'll use a pencil and that will show you how nothing lasts, how nothing is free. Nobody loves you like me. I shouldn't stay, I think you'll agree. It's no good for you, no better for me. In the morning I'll go to a place far away, somewhere you'll never find me. I catch a look, a thing that you say, out on the fire escape, smoking all day, missing someone. Now who could it be? Nobody loves you like me. Noises outside, the trucks in the street will cover my flight, my hero's retreat. I'm supposed to feel bad, but I don't anymore. Only when you remind me. Air in my lungs, a cough and a wheeze, holes in the bellows and blood on the keys. You move along, there's nothing to see. Nobody loves you like me. Nobody loves you like me.